All right. Let's see what is happening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and being patient. As always, I appreciate y'all. Uh, getting the show ready this morning. Just one of them days where you gotta do some things that are unexpected, but it's okay. It wasn't that bad. We got it done, and we're good. I mean, we're a little behind, but that's all right. Hey, we will make up for it. All right, so let's see. Let me shout out the chat. I appreciate y'all as always. It's always good to see y'all. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. I know on the East Coast it's supposed to rain at different times throughout the day, but you never know. Yesterday they said it was going to rain a lot, and it didn't. It calmed down. So we'll see. Let's see if the Father's Day weekend can have any love. You know what I mean? I mean, tomorrow they say it's going to be okay, but I know a lot of people are barbecuing and cooking out today. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there doing their things, and to all the mothers who have to be fathers as well. Salute to y'all. Appreciate everyone. And enjoy your weekend. All right, let's see. Walter Blackman is in the building. Salute, Walter. Always good to see you. I appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Hey, the Queen, Steph. What's going on? Dope Soul Sports Talk. Please tune into her show if you haven't already. Also, the Queen's Court on the Nothing But Knicks channel, network, should I say. Show your love, and check out her audio podcast as well. Very nice. I was listening to it yesterday. Very nice listen. Very nice listen. Um, it's weird because we have some of the still Nick fan stuff is on audio, but we don't promote it, and because it's just not where we wanted it to be. We just put it out there just to kind of get our feet wet with it, but we never really revisited it. But after hearing Steph and I was really comfortable. I was doing what I had to do around the house, and then I had to step out and go get something from the store, and I'm just still listening to it. I don't got to worry about you know uh basically looking at something while I'm getting groceries or whatever. So it was actually a nice experience. So something to keep in mind. Thank you, Steph. And she says, salute Ron panel chat. I'll be listening while I'm on the road back to New York. Oh, wow. Yeah, Steph has been away for a little bit, enjoying her time. And yeah, so nice to have you back coming back to New York. It'll be dope. Excuse me. And safe travels. Knicks on nice. What's good, Pudge? Hey, he said the same safe travels. That's right. Yep. Deron Wayne is in the building. Salute, my brother. Excuse me. Shaw Powers is in the building. Man, I was so happy and excited because I didn't even notice. I was listening to Nick's Real Talk last night with Divine and Shaw, and G Money was there too. And I'm just listening and watching the show and looking at the chat, and then I look over and I see the subs, and I saw 1K. I said, "Oh, they did it!" So congratulations to Nick's Real Talk with Shaw and Divine for getting that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm really happy for you guys, and just keep growing from there. It took too long, in my opinion, for them to get to that 1K. So that's why I was trying to do as much as I can to help. But I appreciate that the fans and all of the listeners stepped up and really helped them get to that point because they deserve it. So you know, let's see. JJ's in the building. Salute, JJ. What's good? Appreciate you. Happy Saturday. You guys already know. I mean, I've been drinking already. I got the morning cup of Joe or Joanne. Either way. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Facebook as well. I don't think, I don't think we're streaming on Twitch right now because we might be moving streaming to another platform probably next week. So in addition to. So YouTube, Facebook, and a third platform. So we'll see. Mega New York, what's going on? Come Mega, appreciate you. Hopefully everything's going good for you, my brother. Let me see. Hey, Margaret Edwards is in the building. Salute, Margaret. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday. My guy Cartagena, CC in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Dwayne Dennis is here. What's good, Dwayne? Salute. He said one thing must keep in mind is that and that get better next season, Eastern Conference Finals and Finals. How addition by subtraction, making the right moves, team building around Jalen Brunson, and team needs. No, it's not just one. That's facts. That's fair. Appreciate that. Who's this guy? Still Knicks fans. Oh, that's me. My bad. Wonder Woman is in the building. Salute. What's good? I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. I said what's up to Margaret. David L is in the building. Salute, David. Hope you're doing well. And everything's good on your end. Corey Lee, what's good? Appreciate you, my brother. Salute. Stream Elements. You know how we do stream. Hey. We crib walk on Stream Elements. Dripmore is in the building. Salute. What's going on? That's right. Dripmore, the preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Let's go. Let's go. And shout out to Geraldine McIver, wherever you are. I appreciate you. I hope the new job is treating you well. Miss you out here in these chats. You're always welcome. Frank Matos used to call me Sasso. Let's go. Let's get it. This trade talk started. Yeah, I got you. What's going on, Frank? Appreciate you. Travel Vibes is here. Salute, Travel Vibes. And happy Father's Day to everyone once again. Will Salkin is in the building. Salute, Will. Hope you're doing well. Ill Matrix is in the building. Salute, Ill Matrix. Good to see you. I'm sorry, Ill Matrix. Illmatics. I don't know why I said Matrix. Sometimes you see stuff. I got old eyes now. Now my eyes actually ain't old. I'm capping. My eyes work well. My ears are old though. I don't be hearing stuff. But Illmatics, salute. Appreciate you. Marcus in the building. Salute. Happy Saturday to you. Hey, what's going on? What up, Raymond? My guy. What's good, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. And listen, take care of yourself, brother. I know you be running crazy out there. You're always working hard and taking care of your family, but I know you be getting put through the ringer, man, and your health. Take care of yourself, brother, man. We only got one you. You know what I mean? If no one else does it, you're the only one who can do it, man. I'm preaching to the choir because I know how you work, bro. But we appreciate you, man. At least I appreciate you, and I want to see you around, man. So, and I want you to be okay. Salute to you, my brother. William in the building, all the way from Brazil. What's good, William? Hope you're doing well, and everything's straight. All right. And obviously, there's other people watching who may not be in the chat. Salute to you guys. Happy Father's Day, as I said. Have a great weekend. All that good stuff. Mad love to everybody. Right, I know. Facts, brother. That's why, like I said, I want to make sure you around, man. I want to see you healthy. You know what I mean? But like I said, I know you work hard. You do what you got to do for your fam and everything. So, continue to do you, but just try to take it easy. All right. Okay, guys. Well, you know what I mean. Let's chop it up and get into it. You know how we do. Let's hit the intro. We'll come back and get into the topics and all that good stuff. This off season, I swear, I feel like the off season officially hasn't started. We know, it's like we're like at a trade deadline. The way the talks are going, the rumors are crazy. Oh, it's nuts. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's get into it right after this. All right. We are back, folks. Shout out to D Coolest 718. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Ashley Inc. Wiz is in the building. Salute. Hope you're doing well. That's why I only gave you the head, and I ain't doing all that. Calm down, B. Calm down. One way or another, I'm getting my kid into the pros. Hey, man, I understand. You got to do what you got to do because it takes a lot of work. And so I get it. I get it, bro. All right. So, where do we start? Let's start with, actually, I'm going to start backwards. I'm going to start with the Stephen A. Smith stuff, Stephen Hader Smith. And then we'll get into these rumors and stuff and these players out there that apparently all want to come to the Knicks now. I swear this happens. The bad thing is this happens every year, right? But now it's a little bit, it's more real because the Knicks are actually a good team. And so there's some legs to this idea. And there are some people that are actually considering the Knicks. There's truth to that. But now everybody apparently has got the Knicks on their radar. Everybody's coming to the Knicks. I mean, come on. But whatever. We'll chop it up. We'll get into it. A la Wise is in the building. Salute. Peace. What's good, my brother? The Knicks. The new Knicks City and Squad is in the building. What's going on? Good to see you, brother. And shout out to the Organic Fanatics podcast as well. Guys, as I've said many times, if y'all haven't checked them out, please do. Show your love and support this show. They're growing New York Knicks channel. You know what I mean? They're part of this Knicks community, and you know, the content is good. You gotta just tune in. I know there's a lot of content creators, but there's we got a whole big pond out here, and we can all get something from it. You know what I mean? There's never enough Knick talk. I mean, that's our team. Let's see. Parrot. I just lost it. Where'd it go? There it is. Paris Duggar. Oh no, here it is. Paris Duggar is in the building. Salute. What's good? He said, y'all got to learn to be happy. How me and Leon Rose run this team. Draft well, develop, keep our youth, and got them to graduate playoff school this year. Oh, thank you, Paris. I didn't know you helped put in that work. I appreciate you then, brother. Hey, Big Dilf in the building. No one is coming to the Knicks. Thank you. Hey, man. Listen, I mean, we don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I will tell you, though, the chances of the Knicks getting somebody is high because there's so many names that are apparently moving, regardless if they're coming to the Knicks or not. The chances are good that someone might wind up here. It's all about, is it the right move or is it a mistake? That I don't know. That I don't know. All right, let's see. Ajay is in the building. Salute, Ajay. What's good? I hope you're doing well, brother. Enjoying your Saturday. I got you, brother. Yeah, man. I'm sipping on this Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, actually, this is McDonald's. And so I wish there was a sponsorship. Holla at the kid, man. I used to love Ronald McDonald. Doesn't that count? I'm just saying. It should count for something. Anyway. Agent Super Argo in the building. Salute, my brother. Good to see you. Okay. So back to this Stephen Hater A. Smith. Now, normally I don't care what he has to say or what ESPN is saying in regards to the Knicks. I mean, there's been years of feeling a certain way about them, so I try to avoid that. I don't even watch. To be honest with you, I don't even watch the programming the way I used to. I mean, the 30 for 30s, Sports Center, Baseball Tonight. I mean, I used to be religious watching all of this stuff. Like I set my not alarm, but I would set my life around it. You know what I mean? 11:30 used to be Baseball Tonight or 10:30, one of those. I just, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that show. I could still that doesn't bother me. I would still watch that. I just haven't been. But yeah, the morning stuff, the morning talk stuff, I can't do it. It's too much. And I used to always get stressed out watching it too, because I used to see them every topic, like with Skip and Steven when they used to have their show on First Take. I used to look at every topic: Dallas Cowboys, Eagles, Patriots, blah, blah, blah. No Giants. And the Giants could be winning at this time. No Giants. Giants might have pulled off a nice acquisition. No Giants. I'm like, you supposed to be in the New York area, New York region, and you don't even talk about, the team that's in that area, and especially if they're doing well and they're making moves or there's something going on. Yeah, done with them. Anyway, Dan Marrero, what's good, man? Long time no see. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yes, it's been a minute. Yeah. But it's good to see you, man. I hope everything's going well, and happy Father's Day to you. Okay. So Stephen Hater A. Smith basically said that and don't get me wrong, what he's saying, when you really look into it, it's probably not that crazy, and there's not a big issue about it. I just don't like hearing him saying anything these days. So he says the Knicks should move on from Tom Thibodeau after this season, and they should hire Tyronn Lue, because he believes Tyronn Lue is one of the best coaches in the NBA and is a better coach than Tom Thibodeau and is about 19 years younger. So there's nothing wrong with what he said, because there might be a lot of truth to that. Tyronn Lue might be a better overall coach than Tom Thibodeau right now at this stage in his career. I don't know that for certain, but he could be, because, in the beginning, Tyronn Lue, I felt like was a placeholder. You know what I mean? He was a guy who other players liked, and they knew his work ethic and how he played as a player. And they were like, he's a good dude, right? And he wanted to be a coach. And I felt like it was like a friend type of thing. Like, okay, let's make Tyronn Lue the coach because he knows what we're thinking. And in reality, I felt like, in those beginning years, Tyronn Lue wasn't doing a lot of coaching. He was doing a lot of learning, while some of these players like LeBron, Wade, and I guess to a certain extent Bosh too, but really LeBron and Wade were really running the show and doing things whenever LeBron was around. He was really doing his own coaching, if you know what I mean. But Tyronn Lue has been in the league for many years. He has learned a lot, and he started to get his own value and his voice as those years went through. And I think he has turned into a really good coach. I would agree that he's a good coach. Is he better than Tibbs? I don't know. I don't know. I think Tyronn Lue has been very fortunate to have really good players on his teams. Not that every team has had the best squad, but he's had some of the best players in the league. You know what I mean? So, that works in your favor. And these were smart, high IQ players that didn't need a lot of coaching. So I definitely think that works in his favor. But I'm not downplaying the fact that he has turned into a really good coach, and he's moved on and been away from LeBron and still and has done good things. But he's done great things with LeBron. It's tough because, and I was talking about this a little bit last night on Knicks Real Talk with Lavine and Shaw and G Money last night. I feel like as much as we get on Tibbs, and don't get me wrong, Tibbs is not perfect. And is he a lot better now than he was before? Yeah, I think he is. But I also think Tibbs' talent level on the team is a lot better, which helps him make less bad decisions. You know what I mean? He's got better players, and so his questionable decision making is a little bit less. He doesn't have to go as crazy with some of these plans that he has, the rotation and certain things. It's a lot easier. It's a little bit more fleshed out for him. But as I was saying last night, in fairness to Tibbs, this year that just passed, that was the best roster Tibbs has had as a New York Knicks coach. So how can you really say how good a coach is if you haven't given him the right personnel to carry out what he sees fit as a coach? Like, Tibbs is a defensive coach first before anything else. He has offensive schemes that aren't bad because as we all know now, most of the NBA runs the same plays. They're just different variations. The offenses are very similar. It's just different variations of that same offense. And maybe he's not the best at being creative offensively, but that also could go to the personnel. Like, I'm not going to run sets around the perimeter to get an open three from a team that don't shoot threes well. You know what I mean? You still try because you need to do that to help stretch the floor. But teams like, you know what I'm saying? You get it. Teams like the Warriors and other teams that have really good shooters can run those plays all the time, and then variations of those plays because they got the weapons. So if you give Thibodeau those type of players to add what he's got now, if Thibodeau, say the Knicks go into this offseason and grab 2 3-point shooters, like really good 3-point shooters who shoot at like a 37 or better clip from the 3-point line. You never know. Tibbs might open up that offense and do some things that we haven't seen because now he's got better shooting. We don't know. Because once again, it's not all Tibbs. Tibbs is the main voice, but he's got other guys, Johnny Bryant, Daddy Brunson and Dice, Yoshimoto, whoever else helps with regards to running the offense and the defense of the team. So all I'm saying, guys, is we got to look at it like, has Tibbs been perfect? No. But has it looked like he's become better as a coach and made less mistakes? I think so. Did the wake-up call happen when he was on the hot seat and the Knicks were considering letting him go earlier in the season, and then he decided that if I'm going to go on my terms, so I'm not playing this guy, I'm not playing that guy, I'm shortening the rotation, and I'm going to run everything the way I want to run it? Because you fire me, at least I'm getting fired the way I want to do it. I'm not just doing it the way you guys want me to do it. And I think that's what Tibbs did, and we noticed that it started working immediately. Then we had a little down spell, but then it picked up again. And as it started to pick up again, then we got into the trade deadline. We traded for Josh Hart, and then we were off. You know what I mean? So I don't know, guys. I'm just saying he's been here 3 years. 2 of those years have been very successful seasons, making the playoffs both times. 1 year, this past year, we won a playoff series. I got to tell you, in a regular job, if you're working for somebody and you do those type of results, you're getting a raise. So Why should we look at Tibbs any different? I've been harsh on Tibbs too because he used to make some questionable calls. And the rotation was nuts. How are you going to tell me that you feel the best point guard you got is Alec Burks, and you got a dude sitting on the bench that you don't even play? How are you going to tell me that guys are hurt and I need somebody to play from the big standpoint, and all I got is Taj Gibson, and I got to play him 30+ minutes when you got Jericho Sims sitting right there on the bench? Like, certain things like that drove me crazy. So I get it, but I think he's learned, and I think he's in a much better spot right now. So I'm rocking with Tibbs and let him do what he's got to do. As long as the Knicks organization and the front office continues to get better and continues to surround the team with talent, that's how we judge Tibbs. Let him have the talent and see what he does with it. Let's see here. Billy Goat is in the building. Salute, Billy Goat. Appreciate you. Good to see you as always. Danny Landis is in the building. He says, good morning. Happy Father's Day. Big Ron, hope all is well, bro. Do you think we make any big trades? We're going to talk about that, Danny. And happy Father's Day to you, bro. Let's see here. The step over king. Yeah, I'll never forget that. That was crazy. Oh, that was funny. Kevin Middleton is in the building. Salute. What's good? Good to see you. Tracer Mack is in the building. What's going on? Big fan of Kai Soto. Yes. I got to tell you, I wanted to be able to talk about Kai Soto or Sato and give like an update in regards to how he looked with the Knicks. The Knicks don't let nothing go, man. They don't tell anybody anything. And you could say that's a good thing. I don't mind if it's one of those things where we actually wind up seeing the player later, or the Knicks are coveting that player, but the Knicks just do that with everybody. And I would love to know how the workouts, have gone. I mean, he was with the Knicks organization from the 12th to the 14th, I believe. I don't know anything. I'm going to keep looking though. But I haven't heard anything. And this is the same thing that happened last year when I was trying to find out about Knicks workouts. They only put out what they want to put out. So I don't know. Unless you guys know of something, please let me know. But I've been looking and I haven't seen anything. Did I say what's up to Kevin Middleton? I don't know if I did, but what's up, Kevin Middleton? I appreciate you, brother. He said, why are we the only fan base that worry about cap space and money, and everybody else gets whoever they want, whether they way over the cap or have 3 max players already? We have to build a team. I mean, there's truth to that, Kevin, but you got to look at it like this too. Usually the teams that go get whoever they want are usually contenders, and they're all over the cap, right? Usually. And usually the championship teams that have won the championships in the last however many years, usually those teams are over the cap because of their moves. Now, there are other teams that also go out there and get who they want, but keep in mind it backfires. Look at Minnesota. Look at how much money Minnesota's got tied up in players. And look at that team over there. That's why they're trying to trade Cat. Imagine. It happens. But I hear you, though. Scared money don't make money. I got it. I got you. You would like to see the Knicks do something. Sometimes fans want to see a big splash. That's how it is. Say what you will about Carmelo Anthony, but when Carmelo Anthony actually suited up and put on a Knicks uniform, a lot of people were happy. They weren't happy with the way we got him initially, but once he was here, they were happy. And Tracer Mack, thank you for being here. Salute to you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Wiz says Tibbs is appreciated and acknowledged for where we are, and at the same time, his flaws can be recognized. Very true. However, what I will say, if we're being honest, he has less flaws now than he did last year or even 2 years ago. He's not doing this exact same things he was before. He does. He's not perfect. He still does certain things that you're like, oh, that's a Tibbs thing. But there's less of it because he's got better players. That's just natural. You got better players. The team gets better. You don't have to worry about making as many bad calls or overthinking things. I will say that when it comes to playoffs and regular season, you still got to worry about Tibbs because I don't know if he gets a little, pressure when the playoffs happen, changes up a little bit, but just saying. And Kareem, listen, man, it's always good to see you, brother. Peace, twin. I hope you're doing well. And happy Father's Day to you, bro. Morning Brew Sports. He says, Ron, what it do, family? Hope all is well. Yes, always, brother. Always. I think I got that. I feel that allergy sneeze coming on. Oh, it stopped. It'll come back. Believe me, it never goes away. Hope everything's going well with you. Definitely, guys, as I say all the time, please tune into Morning Brew Sports. They got really good content. They're growing so fast over there. So much content. Knicks Morning Brew, Yankees Morning Brew, the Rangers Iced Brew, Jets Brew, or Jets Evening Brew, and the Rookie Show, the Rookie Podcast. I always forget the Rookie name, but you know what I'm saying. They got a lot going on over there, and they're continuing to grow. And I'm sure there's some stuff down the line that you guys haven't even seen yet that's going to be launching. So definitely shout out to them. I like the idea that they're building their own network, and it's nice to see it. We had an idea like that too, but some big names and they're not ready yet. Because you got to get everybody. And when I'm talking about big names, like you got to pay these dudes big bucks to make this happen. So I'm like, we're going to have put that on the back burner forever. Anyway, but shout out to you guys, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate y'all. Cam from the Kickback is in the building. Salute. Oh, thank you, Cam. That's right. I mean, I wasn't going to mention it like that because most likely we'll have a show on Monday where I can mention it, but why not? You know what I mean? Salute. Happy Juneteenth weekend to you as well, sir. Don't forget Monday is Juneteenth, guys. I don't know if your workplaces or wherever you do is celebrating that or representing it, but definitely it's happening Monday. So, and if they are celebrating it and you forgot, then hey, here's your reminder. So don't go to work Juneteenth if they're celebrating it. Yeah, hope you're enjoying your off season as well, brother. Oh, okay. Interesting. We got the first big proponent of yes, let's do it. Parrish Douglas says Tyronn Lue would make Julius an MVP player. Do your homework about his communicative game. He fixes attitudes immediately, and especially the stars of the team, any player's selfishness. That makes sense. I mean, I guess he would have to because of the divas he's worked with and coached. So that does make sense. I'm sure if anybody's learned how to do that, Tyronn Lue would be that type of guy. So yeah, I mean, listen, I am not saying that Tyronn Lue is not a good coach. I didn't say that. Stephen A said he's better than Tom Thibodeau. I don't know that for a fact because compare Tyronn Lue's rosters overall to Tom Thibodeau's rosters. You know what I mean? I don't know that. You give Tom Thibodeau those same teams. I don't know. We don't know that for certain, but that's not taking anything away from Tyronn Lue. I do think he's a really good coach. And if Tyronn Lue was here, would I be mad? No, I'd be okay with that. I'm just saying, I just think we got to be fair. Like, you don't get rid of somebody if they're doing well, and if you finally giving this gentleman pieces to work with, and how he can orchestrate things the way he wants to, and it's working. We got to the playoffs. We won a playoff series. I don't think that's right to just let somebody go. I only want to get rid of players or personnel that is not working out, and we're not, getting better from it. Everybody can have a bad year. Last year was a bad year. And so, I was ready to let Tibbs go and all this stuff. And then people were talking me off the ledge and saying, oh, Tibbs is a established coach. You need to give him some time. A lot of things have happened. Let's play it out. And they were right. We come into this year, guys are healthier. We make a great acquisition in Jalen Brunson, and then we get Josh Hart, and the team is a total different team. Not total. No, they are. As a matter of fact, they are total, because they have a different mindset too. They play with a sense of urgency and grit, and they close out games in the fourth quarter, which they weren't doing before. So yes, they are a different team. So shout out to everybody who talked me off the ledge, because you were right. So, and now I'm gonna stay with that, because we got to give people their just due. It's like, anybody. If you're at work and you have a bad month, and things are going on, there's a lot happening in your life, and your boss starts to look at you a certain way, you don't want the boss to just say, "Okay, you're out of here." Especially if you've been working there for years and this hasn't always been the case. You want the boss to say, "Okay, well, let's get it together. All right, next month you do better, things get, and you're back." But you don't want the boss to say, "Okay, well, I mean, you did play now. You did work better this month, but last month was really bad. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to let you go." Oh, what? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I just but I will say, and this is not taking anything away. Tyronn Lue is a good coach, guys. Yeah, I mean, I used to be, like I said, I told you in the beginning, I thought he was a placeholder, because he wasn't really calling. He might have been drawing up stuff. He wasn't the one running those teams in that beginning. It was definitely LeBron, and you could see it, and everybody was talking about it, not just from a fan's perspective. NBA people or like commentators, they was talking about it. But as time went by, I think Tyronn Lue really became what is now a really good coach in the NBA. And then being away from LeBron helped. So yeah, I give him his props. Let me see. Jeffrey Clafter's in the building. Salute, Jeffrey. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Uppercut the like button. I like that, Mega. Let me see just real quick if there's anybody else. Jay Boogie's in the building. Salute, Jay Boogie. Always good to see you. A pleasure. Hope you're doing well. He says, shout out to the chat. Blessings and health, happiness. Celebrate your day, but no, real dads are fathers every day. All fathers continue shining like on our kids. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Facts. And salute to you, my brother. Happy Father's Day to you as well. Delano Steele Jr. is in the building. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Felicia Lee is here. What's good? She says being frugal works in our favor so we can have movable contracts. Salute. Yeah, no, that's true. I appreciate that. Thank you for the happy Father's Day as well. Hey, No Cap Sports Talk. What's good? He said, of all the players the Knicks have been linked to, who would you go after and what would you give for that person? I'm gonna star that. I'm gonna come right back to it, because that's an interesting question. Christian Cortez is in the building. Salute, Christian. Hope you're doing well. All right. So you know what? Let me get into the next part of the show, and I'll throw this link out there. So if anybody wants to jump on, you are welcome. Although I do want to get through stuff, so I want to have a little bit more control this week. So nothing crazy. I ain't gonna let it go this week. Knicks Real Talk, my guy Divine in the building. Salute. Congratulations once again, my brother. Appreciate you guys. Keep doing your thing, man. Did I say? I'm bugging. I don't even remember. Well, salute to Kerry Cox. I appreciate you. Good to see you, my brother. I don't know if Keith was here already, but if not, Keith, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Pay Paul's in the building. Salute. What's good? Ron Sarmiento is in the building. Ron, what's good? I hope you're doing well, man. Yes, happy Father's Day to you as well. All right. Let's put that link in the chat. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's another question. You know, outside of that, say Tom Thibodeau was to leave after this year. Say things didn't work out. Because honestly, I think the Knicks will be as good as they were last year, if not a little better this year, depending on who they get. Now, if they get a substantial piece, or they make some substantial moves, the Knicks could be really good this year. But I don't think Tom Thibodeau is going anywhere, because I think the Knicks are going to have just as good of a season as last year, or even better. But say, for example, that doesn't happen. Say something crazy happens with the chemistry, or Tibbs is tripping for whatever reason, and they decide to move on from Tom Thibodeau. Would you guys be interested or comfortable with Tyronn Lue? And mind you, once again, don't forget, Tyronn Lue has championships, or a championship. I think he's got 2. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But he has turned into a good coach. So I want that to be something that everybody understands. He is a good coach now. He's a really good coach now. Just like Jason Kidd, who maybe not be I don't know if Jason Kidd is as good of a coach as Tyronn Lue, but Jason Kidd is a good coach too. And sometimes we downplay that because of how bad Dallas was this year. But Jason Kidd was also the coach last year, the prior year, when they were shocking everybody. So, you know what I mean? Like, but anyway, that's the question. If Thibodeau was gone, would you guys be comfortable with Tyronn Lue? Would you? Here's another question. If you want to look at it, and I'm trying to make it easier for y'all. If you had a choice between Dice Yoshimoto, and I'm saying this because sometimes teams hire from within, and it looks like the Knicks would do that anyway, possibly. Dice, Daddy Brunson, or Johnny Bryant, Tyronn Lue. Who would you rather have? Dice, Daddy Brunson, Johnny Bryant, or Tyronn Lue? I'm just putting it like that. You tell me what your answer is. Let me see. Deron Wayne says Lue is not available. I mean, anybody can become available, you know. David L says, get Tyronn now. I hear that. Yes, indeed. Ty Lue. Okay. Pay Paul says Lue. Julian says Johnny or Dice. Okay. Staying loyal and true to the fam. David L. Rick. Okay. So you like Rick, Daddy Brunson. Okay. D Coolest says, I wouldn't mind Dice. He was great with the G League. I mean, yeah, but that's young players that really sponges and listen to everything you do, and with the Summer League crew. When you're dealing with them professionals, with them divas guys, it's a little different. But I mean, I don't know. PayPal says the whole coaching staff under Tibbs is horrible. I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough to say. It's tough to say, bro. Because I know we do put a lot of credit on Tibbs. Certain offensive stuff we put on Tibbs, but Tibbs is not really a great offensive coach, and we see other guys moving around over there. So maybe he's not the one calling the offensive stuff. So when you're mad at somebody for offensive stuff, maybe you should be looking at somebody else. I don't know. What's okay? Well, let's see. That's a good question. Excuse me. There's the sneeze. It took forever, but it came. All right. Report is the Clippers are unlikely to extend Ty Lue this offseason. So, yes, Ty Lue will be available. Let's see. What is his here we go. Tyronn Lue. All right. No, he's got one championship. Let me put this up for you guys to see. Oh no, it doesn't let me do it. It's because it's all the way in the corner, so I can't blow it up. But whatever, you guys get it. Just understand this is Tyronn Lue. All right, let's see here. All right, so this is Ty Lue. As you can see, there he is. There's his picture in his suit. Hobby on my suit and tie. Suit. Oh, you get where I was going. All right. So this is him. Like I said, I'm sorry I can't blow it up any bigger because it's so stuck in the corner over here. Bad job, guys. But all right. So his first year, 41 games. So obviously he took over for somebody. They went 27-14 under him, and they became the NBA champions in Cleveland. That was obviously LeBron was there for that. That's when LeBron came back to Cleveland. And why do I keep saying, and I'm sorry, I apologize. For whatever reason, I keep throwing Tyronn Lue into that Miami mix. He was not with Miami. But the point is he's been with LeBron for whenever he had some early success was with LeBron, and people feel like LeBron was the one coaching that team. So, all right, the next year they went 51-31 Eastern Conference champions. The next year after that, they went 50-32 Eastern Conference champions. And then I guess 2018-2019 season 6. I don't remember what happened with that year, to be honest. Then he was an assistant coach with the Clippers. And then I guess he was head coach in 2020. They went 47-25. 2021-22 they went 42-40, and then 22-23 they went 44-38. Now, the only thing I would like to say as a caveat is remember, this is a Clipper team that has been very unhealthy. All right. Their star players have not been there. It's not Lue's fault, but if you expect really good product, the players have to be healthy. And so when you think about him, think about that. 47-25, 42-40, 44-38. And you had guys hurt all through those seasons. George, Kawhi, then what's his face? Who's John Wall? Whatever. I mean, so that's actually not bad considering what that team was made up of and how their best players would usually hurt. So, yeah, get that out of there. Okay. Shout out G's in the building. He says he thinks the Knicks need to get rid of Tom Thibodeau, Julius Randle, and RJ and anybody else. Okay. That they need to. I get you. Sign as an assistant. Now that is a very good idea because if he's not gonna get his contract extended in the offseason and he's looking for work, them bringing Tyronn Lue in as an assistant might be an incredible idea. Very good suggestion, Pudge. That's a very good suggestion. Let me see. Right. Okay. So I was right. I felt like I saw him with two. All right. So he had one with as a player, the Lakers, and as a coach with Cleveland. Right. BK Ray, what's good, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope everything's good. Hope life is treating you well. Good to see you. D Cooler said Kawhi should hang it up with Lonzo. Yeah, it's sad. I don't know, man. I feel bad for Lonzo Ball though. Life hits you fast, man. NBA life. Sam Grandison is in the building. What's good, Sam? Hope you're doing well, brother. Always good to see you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day. Appreciate it. I mean, you're not a father from what I know, so but appreciate Happy Father's Day to your family. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, we don't know because we haven't seen it. You know what I mean? We don't know what it's like to have a Tyronn Lue as a coach. We've had a lot of question marks as coaches. Hornacek, what the hell is this guy's name? Derek Fisher, Tibbsdale or Fizdale. What the hell was his name? I can't even remember now. That's not good. That's a bad sign. Yeah, man. So I don't know. Almighty Finesse is in the building. Salute. What's good? All right. Let me put this back out there. All right. So, I mean, I think it's interesting. It's something to talk about. It's something to look at. I personally think that if Tibbs, but I don't know. Who know? Nobody knows what the right move is. If Tibbs was not to be the coach here, I still like Kenny Atkinson. I've liked him from day one, but that's me. I don't even know. And who knows? Maybe he's not the right fit too. You never know who the right fit is until you get him in here and they make something happen. You know what I mean? They got to shake it up and see what it looks like. You could bring anybody in here as a head coach, and if the system isn't good, if there's no assets, and if the talent isn't good, you're gonna have question marks. Oh, okay. I got you, Sam. Appreciate you, brother. Well, keep doing what you got to do, man. I'm just happy to see you in the chat. Okay, so I talked about this on the NBA report the other day. How some people were kind of upset with Jokic's comments about basketball not being his first priority, and other things mattering more to him, and then basketball is just something he's really good at. It's a job for him. He takes it as a job and he works it as a job. He's serious about it. Like, he goes to work and does what he needs to do. And then I'm bringing this up because I saw a lot of stuff about Kyrie Irving and how it's a double standard and all this stuff. I'm not talking about Kyrie. Kyrie does a lot of other things where he sticks his foot in his mouth and then he tries to dial it back. There's some things that he's okay. He's not making a big deal about it. And there's other things that he does do. So I'm not getting into that. But then I saw something with Julius Randle where they started to say, like, compare that to Julius. I don't know how you compare that to Julius. I mean, Julius is a good player who has had uh, really tough moments in the playoffs. And this year, he had a really tough moment in part due to injury. And part of it was him, not necessarily looking his greatest out while he was out there on the court and hustling and stuff like that. So, on the defensive end, Nikola Jokic is not one of the better defenders. He gets cooked. Okay. Problem is he's so good offensively that he cooks everybody. And so you downplay and you dismiss that stuff. He can block some shots. He's a big body, so sometimes he deters people, but he gets cooked a lot. But he's just so good offensively. And he's such a creative player and a smart, high IQ player. He makes his guys better. And so you ignore that. And it really wouldn't matter because if you switch Julius Randle with Jokic, the Knicks are incredible. You know what I mean? Because he's just that incredible on offense. Would he still get cooked? Yeah. I think guys would still be giving him the business, but it wouldn't matter because he'd be doing his thing out there. So I don't know how you compare Julius Randle to Jokic. I don't know where that comparison came from, but and the other thing is everybody knows that Julius Randle is very passionate about the game. Any guy who listens to Kobe Bryant while he was playing with him and then used to make him a confidant and talk to him after games and stuff while they're not even playing on the same team, and then adopted one of his methods to go practice in random gyms in cities where you have games against opponents. That guy cares about the basketball game. With Julius Randle, sometimes it's just about it's his focus to stay intact on what his mission is and what he's got to do and not let the outside things affect that. But as far as him as his mindset as a player and who he is, his work ethic and all that, Julius is top notch. He's A1. It's just he lets the outside noise get in. That actually was great. I'm proud of myself on that. I think that's exactly what it is. He does have focus and he does have the work ethic and the mindset. It's just the outside noise. There's no filter for him. He lets it in, and then it distracts him from his whatever his goal is, his mission. It derails him a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the way to put it. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not 100% right on anything. I'm just saying if I look at it like because he's already showed you that any guy who goes to different cities and works out in random gyms when he doesn't have to, he could be out chilling with his family or partying with his boys if he's or his teammates or he's working out in the gym. I don't take that for granted. So I just kind of think that's how we should look at it when it comes to him. He does certain things that you got to respect. It's just sometimes the lines get a little blurred with regards to what's happening on the court, how he processes things. Maybe sometimes things happen. And you also, as I've said before many times, coaches or a coach has to protect their players from themselves. All right. If Julius Randle was hurt and he re-injured that ankle, he probably shouldn't have been out there on the court. And if you say, okay, I'm not gonna, if you can walk, you can play. If he could walk and he can play, but then you see him on the court and he's not moving, and guys are going behind him back door and they're opening the corner, and he's not moving, then he's not walking really. He's not playing. So that's all I'm saying. So as much as you want to blame Julius for wanting to be out there, you also got to look at Tibbs a little bit too, because it just it's a combination. It's both. Both at fault when it comes to that stuff. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to win. Um, just sometimes got to do things the right way. And for a Knick team that didn't have a lot of talent, it hurt us. We didn't, and it's definitely a Knick team that doesn't have the shooting. That definitely hurt us. So, all right, I'm not gonna get too crazy on it. I don't want to belabor the point too much. But all right, let's get to the other stuff now. Let me get to that question first. Where is it? Shout out to Vaughn Allen. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Sherwin's in the building. Salute. East Blue Drew is here. Salute. Good to see y'all. Smash that like button on your way in. And if you guys got to leave, on your way out. I appreciate y'all. I mean, you really can't, bro. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, can you really? I don't think you can. We're talking about an MVP player who doesn't take a lot of nights off, man. Even Jokic's bad games are really good games. Once in a blue, he'll have a stinker. And I'm talking like maybe twice a year. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe twice a year. Maybe. But I hear you, though. And I'm not saying, remember, I'm just saying Julius is a really good player. But certain things kind of interrupt that. All right, so No Cap Sports Talk. He says, of all the players the Knicks have been linked to, who would you go after and what would you give for that person? Oh, man. So I know people are going to feel a little funky about this, but I'm just thinking about it. If you're telling me that Zach Lavine and Bradley Beal and Cat and Zion are all available, and you're gonna have to trade for these guys, and Donovan Mitchell is available as well. I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying, like, if I can go after these guys, right, and I'm gonna have to give up something. Maybe maybe one or two of them maybe is less than you think you have to give up because of other stuff that's going on. But depends on who it is. I'm calling Cleveland. I'm calling Cleveland because if you're going to wind up trading your assets away anyway, I'd rather trade them for Donovan Mitchell, who's 26 years old and averages around 27, 28 points per game. Like, I'd just rather go get him. And we know he wants to be a New York Knick, or at least in New York, whatever. I'd go get Donovan Mitchell first. Now, if that don't look good, outside of that, I don't know, man. I'm starting to lean towards Zach Lavine. And only because Bradley Beal's contract scares me. That's a lot of money, man. I don't know. Now, the Zion thing, a lot of people are making really good points for Zion because they're like, listen, how often are you going to get a chance to get a 22-year-old, that's not even in his prime yet and is this explosive a talent? Yes, there's some issues that may or may not follow him for the rest of his career, but you're taking a chance because there's no other way you'd be able to get this type of talent. And we have been talking about getting a generational talent for how many years, and now you got one that might fall in your lap. I mean, even that, it's hard for me to argue with. So, I mean, he's making $200 million, right? And that the money is not crazy for what he can do, but it's if he's not healthy, then you're just paying a guy on the bench a ton of money. But let's just assume that the Knicks can catch lightning in a bottle and make that move and wind up with a Zion. I'd probably have to say that would be my order. I would go call the Cleveland Cavaliers first and find out if this Donovan Mitchell thing has any legs. I'd offer them a package. I'd offer them the best package that I'm willing to let go. I'm not negotiating with Cleveland. I'm just going to offer them the best package I'm willing to let go for him. If they want it, it's there. If they don't want it, okay, that's it. You got it. That's it. We'll see him in free agency. And then I would probably go to Zion and see what we can do about getting Zion. And then Zach Lavine. And then Beal. Like, that's me. I know some people may not agree, but I just Beal's money, man. And I've already said before, like the thing that concerns me about Beal is just that when he got that contract, and it was deserving. When he got that contract, he had 2 back-to-back incredible years. He averaged 30 points the first year and then 31 the second year, and he got that deal. And now he's averaging 23. Once again, I'm not saying that's bad. It's just that he commanded a lot of money for putting up 31 or 30. And now he's making, now he's putting up 23 and making that money. Oh, that's all I'm saying. He's not a bad player. Not at all. Yeah. Sherwin, that's very true. That's very true. I just think that the problem is there's so many names that are popping up, Sherwin, that if these people are really available, the Knicks are going to probably wind up doing something. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what we think or what the team look like. The goal for this franchise has been to try to put themselves in a position to have money and cap flexibility or to have assets to acquire a big name. And they haven't been able to do it as of yet. And now, all of a sudden, this offseason, all of these names are surfacing that they all might be on the move. If that's true, somebody's like, I don't, not for sure, but I'm saying, the Knicks are going to put their hands in there and try to get one of these guys. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the issue, Margaret. Zion is a generational talent. And that's like, it's like a gamble you take, but if it works out, it could be fantastic. And this is probably your only chance to get it. You know what I mean? But I'm still feeling a certain way about it, but I get it. Like, you're not going to get many opportunities to grab a Zion. That is listen, Christian, that's the goal. Like, but I'm just saying, just think about it like this. If you're telling me, like, say, I don't want to just throw stuff out there because it's not real. I don't know. But say it would take 3 players and 2 picks to get Bradley Beal. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. If I'm going to give up those 3 players and the 2 picks for Bradley Beal, why wouldn't I just take that same offer and try to see if I can get Donovan Mitchell? You know what I mean? I don't know about how you guys feel, but I personally think that Donovan Mitchell right now at this age would be the better player than Bradley Beal. He scores more than Bradley Beal. He's younger than Bradley Beal. He's more athletic than Bradley Beal. And he makes less money than Bradley Beal. You know what I mean? So, and he really wants to be in New York. So if I'm going, that's the only reason why I'm saying it. If I'm gonna do it, and this is only if, because I know some people, like we've already talked about, there's definitely some people who want to run it back and don't want to deal with all this. But if the Knicks are going to do something, and if they're going to offer a package to Bradley Beal, why wouldn't you offer that same package for Donovan Mitchell and see if it works? If it don't work, it don't work. I'll see you in free agency, like I said. But if I'm gonna do it anyway, I'd rather get Donovan Mitchell. Just my opinion. JJ says he would take Lavine over Beal. I would too. And I didn't necessarily feel that way. I actually didn't want to take either one of them. You know, I was dead set against Lavine and Beal. I just didn't think that his output for the amount of money he makes sense. And he's also had some injury concerns. But shout out to Sha Money once again. I give him props. He opened my eyes. Like, I don't follow some of these guys too closely. Zach Lavine has been fairly healthy the past couple seasons. Like, he played like 60 games last year, and he played 77 games this year. So that was my biggest concern. Vaughn Allen says Mitchell is the play. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that makes more sense to me. Shaw Legacy says he agrees. East Blue Juice says Zion family forcing the trade. I don't doubt it. Listen, we know Zion wants to be a Knick and wants to play with his boy. But, you know, not for nothing, that would be the way to go. But it takes too long. It takes too long for the Thibodeau window, not for the Knicks. Thibodeau's got 2 years left on his contract, and I don't know if the Knicks want to extend it, even if he does well here. I'm not sure about that. He is an older coach. But it would be great for the Knicks to be able to have Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, go out there and get Zion, and then in 2 years be able to sign Donovan Mitchell and bring him here. But that's 2 years from now, guys. 2 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like next year. That's, I mean, maybe. We don't know. I mean, his contract is what it is, but the Pelicans might want to get rid of Zion for not a lot. But I don't know. That guy over there, he likes to fleece teams. So I don't know. That GM. So yeah, it's a possibility though. And it might be one of those things where we'll take Zion and we have to take someone else from the Pelicans too that we may not want, but just to get the deal done, which I much rather take somebody back that I don't really want too much rather than have to give up even more assets for Zion. That would be okay. But most likely, we already talked about this, and I think everybody knows this. I hope everybody knows this, right? Everybody out there, if you're watching, if Zion comes to the Knicks, then Julius Randle has to go. You guys understand that, right? I don't think we have to really talk about that. They would play the same position, and Zion's not no backup. So if Zion comes here, Julius Randle is gone. No shocker. And that doesn't mean that that Julius goes to the Pelicans either, because the Knicks and the Pelicans could do a 3-team trade where Julius goes somewhere else. Just throwing that out there. I don't. Like I said, Deron, when you watch some of these Know the Ledge shows, I've given you guys 3 different weeks, I think, with different scenarios of players that they can target: top tier, lower tier, bottom tier. So there's different ways the Knicks can go about improving the team, and we still be okay. But you got to admit, if I tell you that I'm happy with this team, I don't want to really do anything, and then tomorrow they say Bradley Beal's getting traded, Cat's getting traded, Zach Lavine's getting traded, Zion Williamson's getting traded. What organization is not going to look at that and say, we have been trying to get another piece for many years and haven't been able to do it, and now these guys are available. We've got assets. We're ready to win. You know the Knicks are going to consider it, right? That's point blank. Then the other thing is, if they're really thinking about improving the team and they want to go forward and do this and they put the chips out there, if I'm going to put an offer out there for Bradley Beal, then guess what? And I keep hearing this Cleveland Cavaliers chatter. I'm putting that offer out there to Cleveland for Donovan. It doesn't matter if they want to take it or not. It's just I have to do it, okay? I got to do it. Have to do it. And I know some Knicks fans are not, after the playoffs, you feel a certain way about Donovan. Listen, you can feel a certain way about Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell won't be the man here. You know what I mean? He could be a part of the crew, right? But Jalen Brunson is the man here, right? So the things you worry about, you don't have to worry about them as much. He's just another guy here that can help us get buckets, right? And so that's all I'm saying. That's the thing, Marcus. Like, that's been my thought process all along. This guy can't stay healthy. He played 23 games last year, 105 games or so in the past 4 seasons. That, I don't know. Now, another part of me is like, I don't know if all of that's real either. I don't know if Zion really wanted to play with the Pelicans. I don't know if he was really that hurt at a certain point. I know he was hurt in the beginning, but he was out a long time. And then the whole thing, like, I'm 80%. I could play, but I don't want to be out there hurting my team, so I'm not going to play. I don't know. However, maybe that was true. Or maybe it's just like, I really want to get up out of here. I'm not happy with nothing going on over here. And so, yeah, I'm still hurt. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the way to go, and that's not the type of thing you want as a player sometimes, but I don't know what's going on over there. I really don't know. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, but yeah. I agree. No. But I don't necessarily think when I'm saying I don't know. You might be talking to the chat too. When I'm talking about Julius Randle getting traded, I'm talking about for Zion because that would have to happen that way. But for Beal, I don't know if Julius Randle has to go. I don't know if he has to be the one included. I'm saying the Knicks might come up with a package of 3 players and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if Julius would have to be in that. If Julius is in it, then it changes things. So I wasn't even thinking about Julius for Beal, to be honest. I mean, I guess some people are, but Marlon Khan is in the building. What's good? Salute. Yeah, he agrees too. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is just a suggestion. I don't know if I'm right or what. I just think that if you're gonna be offering pieces for this type of guy, who would you? Okay, let's do it this way. Who would you guys rather have, Bradley Beal or Donovan Mitchell? Think about it and let me know. And as you're thinking about that, then understand where I'm going. If I'm gonna offer the trade for Bradley Beal, I might as well offer that same trade for Donovan Mitchell and just see what happens. It doesn't matter. We're not worried about it. If they don't want it, they don't want it. Thanks, BK Ray. I appreciate you, brother. Happy Father's Day to you. Thanks for rolling through. Ice Mike is in the building. He said Zion, Lavine equals Randle, Barrett, Grimes 4 first rounders, and jeez. That's a lot. But I don't think Zion really wants to be a Knick if RJ's not here. I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, but I think you would have to. Initially, Zion would have to be here with RJ. Now, if you decide to move on from RJ after that, when Zion is already here, it is what it is. But I think Zion wants to be a Knick, but he also wants to be able to play with his boy. Just saying. Knicks 1-2 day. Yeah, Zion is 6'6", shoots 29% from 3. Listen, he's not coming in as a 3-point shooter. And a healthy Zion is a beast. It don't matter. He don't gotta shoot threes. You gotta put 3-point shooters around him. That's not Zion's job, and that's not something the Knicks would have to worry about. So that part of it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And once again, remember, you're not losing anything. I mean, yeah, maybe you are a little bit because Julius Randle's a better 3-point shooter than Zion is, but it doesn't mean you have to get all your threes from that position. You can get threes from other positions. Like Julius is different. You might get a stretch center, like a lot of us have talked about that we'd like. And if you get a stretch center, then you make up for that shooting that Julius was giving you. And Zion is really a beast in the paint. He's different from Julius. He's a little bit more of, he loves being in that paint and getting busy. Julius can do it. He just doesn't I think Julius likes to do other things on the court. He likes to be out there in the perimeter, shooting the little mini jumpers, shooting threes. I just think he likes that. That's a part of his game that he likes. Whereas Zion, he'll shoot them here and there, but he likes to get in the paint and create damage, create havoc down there. The CBA, yeah, that's concerning. That's CBA, and I know with that, yeah, I don't know. That there's a lot, man. There's a lot. That CBA agreement could really handicap the Knicks depending on what they do. It really could. So, yeah, we'll see. Margaret says Zion will play in New York. You might be right. You might be right. Yeah. Wishful thinking, Giannis to Gotham. I would love it. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Jeffrey Claftis is very correct. David Griffin is not going to give Zion away. David Griffin is a shrewd, tough negotiator. He's a Danny Ainge type. They cut from the similar cloths, man. So he ain't gonna just he's the fleece wagon over there. Dan says, why not sign Kuzma, do a sign and trade for KP, and then push the chips to the middle of the table for Donovan? Well, one, I don't think the Knicks can do that. The Knicks don't have the money to do that because last time I checked, I don't know. I think the Knicks have a mid-level exception and some other $12 billion contract that they can offer in the offseason. I don't know what they call it, but that's what I think. The Knicks got like a $12 million contract they can offer and a mid-level exception around 5 or 6 million, something like that. That's all the Knicks actually can offer without doing anything else. So Kyle Kuzma is not going to come to the Knicks to make 12 million. And that's where that dies right there because, I mean, Mitchell Robinson makes 15 or 16 million per year. Like Kyle Kuzma is, he's going to want his money. I think he's making more than that now, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but I think he's definitely, yeah. So I don't know how we would be able to do Kuzma and KP. You would definitely have to do a sign and trade to get KP. You'd probably have to do a sign and trade to get Kuzma as well. So then you're talking about multiple sign and trades with the same team. Or, well, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it still could happen. I mean, you could do it. I just don't. I don't know. Oh man. Boulevard, what's good? Salute, my brother. Hope you're doing well. I don't think Embiid's going anywhere, Danny. Remember, Embiid's on a team that has pretty much has their identity. We don't know what's going to happen with James Harden, but And they got a brand new coach in Nick Nurse, a well-respected coach around the league. I think Embiid wants to. First off, I don't think Philadelphia's going to let Embiid go, and I think Embiid, if he's, true to getting his team over the top, is going to want to see what Nick Nurse is about. So I think Embiid is done. Forget Embiid. Paul George, on the other hand, I mean, I don't know, guys. Let's see. Paul George. Let's see. I don't know, man. Paul George is still a fairly young guy, and he played 56 games this year, played 31 the year before, 54 the year before that, 48 the year. I don't know. I don't feel as good about him as I do Zach Lavine, who played 77 games. Yeah. I mean, you never know, man. I don't know. You never know. It's not horrible. The guy averaged 23.8 points per game, five assists, 6 rebounds, a steal and a half. He's a good defender. He shot 87% from the free throw line, 37% from 3, 45% from the field. He's not a bad player. We know that. It's just, I don't know, man. An injury bug is crazy. It's real with these guys. It's tough. I don't know, Danny. That's like I forgot to check his age before I closed the window. Paul George age 33. Oh no, hell no. Nope. Nope. Can't do it, Danny. 33. Jeez, he's older than I thought. Nope. Can't do it. I'm sorry, bro. I was thinking about it, but nah. Not with them type of injuries, and he's getting older by the minute. Yeah. I'm sorry. That doesn't work for me. Z-Halt in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Jalen, RJ, Zion, Jules, and Mitch. Yeah. Whoa. No, that ain't going to work. That's nice. That's a nice 2K lineup. I would rock with that in the game, but yeah, Zion comes here. Julius Randle has to go. They not playing those two guys together. We already was talking about the fact that we don't feel Julius Randle and RJ Barrett play well together. Both lefties, both really not great shooters, but command the inside of the paint area. Then you want to add another one who is just like them and is worse at shooting than them, but is definitely more dominant in the paint area. That's 3 dudes that clog the paint on the same team in the same starting lineup. Jalen Brunson will be like this. What do you want me to do, coach? I can't get into the paint. There's big guys everywhere. Pause. What am I supposed to do, coach? Sherwin says, I would say, I don't care if those guys are getting traded. They are not a need. They are agreed. Well, remember, this is New York. And New York, most New York fans want a star. It doesn't matter what we think. They know the perception of a lot of fans and an organization that's trying to put their stamp on this team. So, you know what I mean? It may not be all about what makes a lot of sense to us. It's about what they feel and how they want their image to go across. Like this was, Leon Rose's time as a New York Knicks, basketball operations guy. This is what he did. This is who he got us. So, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We are back. All right. Okay. So let's see here. Let me get back into the chat, see what y'all are talking about. D Cooler says the Donovan Mitchell ship has sailed. No, it hasn't. It has not, my brother. Now, if you want to say you don't want to revisit it through trade, that's fine. But that ship has not sailed. As long as Donovan Mitchell and the rumors are still out there, and he continues to be a diehard New York fan, that's still going to be in play. Sincere the Genius says, I take Spider over Beal. And shout out to you. Salute to you, my brother. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I think most people will feel the same way. I mean, just those two players specifically. Tom from Huntington, what's good? Good to see you. He said, get Zion and have Larry Johnson mentor him and let's go. Oh, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I mean, that's the whole thing, guys, because we're talking, and I'm with you. The guys who have, guys or gals who have different feelings about Zion's health and are questioning the move and if he'll stay healthy and then the weight and all that stuff. Listen, if he comes here and is healthy, we would be very happy with that whole situation. Very happy with it. Boulevard says Brandon Ingram. Yeah, BI is a guy that everybody wants, but honestly, if the Pelicans are so that's the thing too. I don't know if the Pelicans are ready to blow this thing up, right? They got some good pieces over there. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion. I don't know if they're ready to blow this thing up. Could they retool and move it around? Yeah, they could because they got enough with the young players, Trey the third, Herb Jones. If they are able to pull off this trade to get that high pick and possibly get the number 2 pick, for example, or I think they want the number 2 pick, or maybe they want Portland's pick. I don't know, but it's a possibility. But that would require them trading both Brandon Ingram and Zion, like Zion to the Knicks and then Brandon Ingram to whoever for that second or third pick. I don't know if they're prepared to trade both of these guys. They may want to let go of one of them. I don't know if they want to get rid of both of them. So that's the thing. Snipes Entertainment is in the building. Salute. What's good? He said, if the Knicks are a second round team as presently constructed, how much more do they really need? Don't gut the team to make it worse. Hey, You're preaching. I'm with you. I'm okay with that. We were 4 shots away from the Eastern Conference Finals. There's some truth there. Sherwin says, if I can get Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, Trey Murphy, Josh, and Giddey, I'm in. Those type of players, I got you. You're looking for 6'7" and taller, small forward who can shoot, defend, rebound, and create. It's interesting, Sherwin, because I kind of remember when I was on the Jaylen Brown train, I felt like I was getting some resistance from you when I was talking about how impactful and how much of a talent it would be if we got Jaylen Brown. I think we'd be set. And I could be wrong, but I felt like you were giving me some resistance in comparison. But I could be wrong. If I'm misreading it, obviously let me know. But I feel like maybe you're valuing him a little higher now that all of these other players that are actually on the Knicks radar are nothing like Jaylen Brown or these other guys that you just mentioned. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. You let me know if I'm wrong. Paris says Julius needs to go because he has had enough time to fix his face. We can't continue to extend Randle Grace to act the fool around our build. I'd take 20-piece McNuggets for Julius. Paris, come on, man. You ain't right, bro. We're getting that old Julius back. The Pelicans Julius. He cut his hair and everything. You know what I mean? Snipe says he thinks Cam Johnson would be great on the Knicks. Yeah. I mean, listen, I like him. He's 27 years old, but he shoots the rock. He plays some good, decent defense. I'm not mad at him. Yeah, a young Paul George. Exactly. I had no idea this dude's 33. Time flies, man. Felicia Lee says, no, Paul George on load management couldn't play in the playoffs. He is not going to get load management over here. You damn right. His knees are going to fall off over here. He ain't going to have no ankles. Lavine and Grimes are the same height, but they are not the same player. Grimes is a better defender. Not by much. Let's be fair, guys. We like Grimes for his defense, but Grimes is a good defender. He's not a great defender, not yet. He needs more time in the league. He needs to be able to study his opponent better and understand how to stop them better. But he's a good defender. He's not great. Is he better as a defender than Lavine? Yes. But that's where it stops. Lavine is a much better offensive player than Grimes at every facet. And we already know, I talked about this before, I wanted guys like Grimes and Obi to get those ancillary stats. They don't do great at that. And Grimes did a little better at some points throughout the year. Obi got a little better in the playoff time, grabbing some rebounds at least. Lavine does a better job at that too. So Lavine is, it's not a question here. Like all I'm saying is there's ways to switch your team around. You may say, oh, let's get Lavine, then we got to get rid of Grimes. Okay. So now you got a Lavine who doesn't play the same type of defense that Grimes plays from that position. So you know what you do? You go out there and you get yourself a adequate backup role player who plays solid defense off the bench at that same position. That's what you do. Or you go look down your roster and you say, what's another position where we need better defense? I might say power forward, because I know Julius can play really good defense when he wants to, and Obi struggles to play defense. So let me go get a solid backup power forward that plays really good defense that we can throw into the mix. So you kind of offset at different spots on the roster so that when you got guys out there, you have a good defender at this position. So, you're struggling here. He makes up for it there. Your point guard, your backup point guard, because you're going to need a backup point guard. Maybe he plays solid defense too. Or maybe Deuce McBride's role gets elevated. Something got to happen. Something's got to happen. That's all I'm saying. But I hear you, though. I'm just saying there's ways around it. You can figure out ways to infuse defense in other areas where you didn't have it before to make up for what you're losing. Yeah, agreed, Dan. That's true. And that's something that we got to look at because, I'm saying the Knicks are definitely, I think, going to look to try to get into this draft somehow. There's a lot of good players in this draft. The Knicks are really good at scouting second round talent too. They've done a good job at it. The second round talent that the Knicks have on this roster is good for what it is, the second round talent. First round talent is where things get a little trickier. We haven't had a lot of can't miss guys. So I don't know. It's a little different. Smash that like button, guys, if you haven't already. Appreciate the love, man. It gets that show. We got 95 people watching. Let's see if we can get 95 likes, and maybe over time get to 100 likes. I appreciate everything, man. It definitely helps the algorithm. I think we got like 57 likes right now. Come on, man. Smash that like button. Show love for the show, because YouTube be tripping sometimes. Andy's in the building. Salute, my brother. Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Happy Father's Day to you. Or Father's Day weekend, should I say? Yeah, that's what I thought too, Sherwin. That's what I'm seeing, because I know when they were someone was asking about the Pelicans and how they want to get that pick in the draft. They definitely didn't seem like they were talking about trading both of those guys, and one, they looked like they were talking about keeping Ingram. So they're trying to get rid of Zion. So that's another thing, guys. I don't think Zion may want to come to the Knicks, but that don't work for the Pelicans. The Pelicans are trying to get that top draft pick. Knicks don't have one. So I think the whole idea of Zion, well, no, I'm going to stop myself again, because Charlotte has the second pick and Portland has the third pick. So in order for this to appease the Knicks, if they really wanted him, and if Zion wants that, he would have to, or someone would have to talk to the Pelicans and say, look, who are you targeting? Is it Portland or is it Charlotte? And even either one of them. And then someone would have to call Charlotte and say, look, this is what we will give you. And the Knicks may throw something in there as well. And they're going to have to throw something in there, should I say. And the Knicks will send Julius Randle to either Charlotte or to Portland. Charlotte or Portland will send their pick and whatever they need to send to the Pelicans, and then the Pelicans will send Zion to the Knicks. That's the only way it happens right now, because that's what the Pelicans want. They want a second or third pick in this draft, and they really want the second pick because they want Scoot. So that's what it would have to be. Like, Charlotte would have to be getting, if Zion wants to come to the Knicks, that's what would have to happen. And Julius would have to go to Charlotte. So, not saying that will work. I mean, it could work, but I'm not saying that they want that. Although Julius fits, like, he would make sense for Charlotte. Portland, I don't know, unless Portland's going to move on from Grant over there. But Charlotte, it actually makes sense. Julius might be somebody they consider. It depends on Michael Jordan, I guess, because apparently Michael Jordan, even though he's selling the team, he's still going to be the one picking for the draft. So would he like to leave Charlotte with Julius Randle? I don't know. The Organic Fanatics podcast in the building. Salute. What's good? As I said earlier, guys, definitely show your love Type in Organic Fanatics on YouTube and go like, comment, and subscribe to their channel. Really good content. I think you'll like what you hear. Good guys, man. Jerry Chichester is in the building. Good to see you. Thank you for being in the chat. Appreciate you. He said, run it back with KP in the middle and Mitch on the bench. I'm not opposed to that, by the way. Yes, happy birthday to IQ. That's right. I don't know if he's super overrated. There's some question marks with him. And he's due for a big payday. That money might be a little crazy. So Sherwin says the Pacers are looking to trade the number 7 pick in the draft. But what, I don't know. What would the Knicks have for the Pacers for that? I don't know. And is that really worth it? Like, don't get me wrong. Is there really good players in this draft? Yes. But is there generational talent? Because if you're trading for a high pick, you're hoping that it's generational talent. I don't know if I'm getting generational talent at the 7th pick. Could you? Yes, you could. I just don't know. It's all about, remember, it's not about trading for the pick. It's also about picking the right person. As we see, we don't know that that's the case. We picked Obi. Jigga Man Porto, what's good, my brother? Salute. He said, rumor has it my barber is going to the Knicks. Everybody's coming to the Knicks, man. I told y'all. Maybe future draft picks. Yeah, okay. If that's what they want. AO says, don't we need to fill a spot in the front office? I don't know. For whom? Oh, yeah, for Scott Perry. Right. Yeah, but I mean, I honestly think that's going to go to Allen Houston or that Gersas Rosas. I think one of them is going to get that spot. Maybe somebody else, but I don't think they're hiring from outside. I think it's just going to promote from within. My guy. What's going on, John? Appreciate you. He said, happy Father's Day to all. Thank you for all tuning in to watch SKF, Know the Ledge with the homie Ron. Yes, appreciate you, brother. Happy Father's Day. Hope you're having a great weekend. I know you're out there doing something. Appreciate you, my brother. Yeah. Pudge says Rosas. Yeah, Rosas might get it. Especially, see, I gotta tell you, that's the one thing I don't love about these Knicks. They do that stuff, right? You know what I mean? We brought in Johnny Bryant a couple years ago, right? In the hopes that we'd bring in Donovan Mitchell. We brought in Daddy Brunson in the hopes to bring in Jalen Brunson, which worked. You bring in Gerson Rosas because you know that there's a chance that Cat may move in the future. I hate that. I gotta lie to you. I just wish that our front office was just savvy and can just go out there and get dudes. Like, we got the assets, we talked to Gift the Gab, and we got it. You know what I mean? But we know, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Sherwin. Like, if the Knicks were able to pull off a trade with Indiana for like OB and some future picks, or whatever, something like that, that's not huge, like not a game-changing trade, I'm with it. And I would love to draft one of these guys. I like all of them. The Thompson twins, Cam Whitmore is nice. Grady Dick. Yeah, I like all these guys. So I wouldn't be mad at it. I just don't know if I don't know. Knicks haven't shown that they can go get something like that. They've done all these multiple second round trades and moving up, moving down, but all second round stuff, a little easier to finagle. When it comes to first round, like top 10 moves or going out and getting a big star, we haven't seen them be able to be aggressive and pull the trigger on any of that stuff yet. So I don't know, man. Well, we'll see. I question it. You know what I mean? I question it. I know it definitely we want that. I just don't see it. The front office just doesn't give me that same type of, we're aggressive like this. We if we want something, we're really gonna go out there and get it. That's one thing. Like, and then sometimes that doesn't always work. Look at the Mets. Mets got all types of money. They go out and get whoever they want, and it hasn't worked so far this this year. I'll tell you that. Well, for the Yankees either. The Yankees used to be that way. Although the Yankees were winning when they were doing it. So I don't know. I question that. Let me put the link back out there one more again, just in case if anybody wants to jump on and chop it up. I'm gonna go over some stuff. If not, and then probably get out of here. Not right now, but soon. But I definitely want to get into a couple things and take a look at some stuff real quick. And see what you guys think about it, because I mean, there's too many rumors going around about these guys, and I find that with you know what they say, where there's smoke there's fire. It's a lot going on right now. I don't know. I would love to be one of those guys that's like, nah, my team is good. We don't need this guy. I don't see it happening. The Knicks haven't done anything of this sort yet. So I wouldn't be shocked if they try to do something to surprise the fan base and the rest of the league, the rest of the organizations, so they can look at the Knicks like, oh, wow, the Knicks are really going for it now. You know what I mean? Because that's a wake-up call for everybody, because you're not expecting that. Knicks have been pretty conservative. So we'll see. Let me see here. JJ says, "Let's go Mets." Yeah. Well, Yanks got demolished last night. I know that score was crazy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be Allen Houston. It could be. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Allen has, he's paid his way and kind of showed us, because we all had questioned this years ago when Allen got that $100 million contract. We were like, what? The Knicks gave Allen Houston $100 million for what? But listen, they really loved his makeup, who he is as a person, and it's translated. He's become an executive, so they definitely loved him, and he's been a really, I would say, I guess he's been a really good piece for the organization. We can't really talk about executives. We don't know what they do. We don't. So unless you're the mover, the GM, who we know is in charge of a lot of the moves, we don't know exactly what these guys do. So I would assume that Allen has been very good, and so that might be his next step up. They might say, you paid your dues, and now it's your time to go out there and become the guy. I don't know about his scouting, if he helps with that, if he can spot talent. I mean, I would think he probably has an eye for it. I mean, he knows what he was. He knows who he played with. It makes sense. So we'll see. I don't know. It's all very interesting. Very interesting. But I like I said, I don't think that's a big deal. I think the Knicks will pretty much find somebody from within to promote, and they won't miss a beat. So let's take a look. Well, give me a second. I might have to talk a little bit more because StreamYard is taking a minute with this, as always. But I'll pull something up and we'll take a look at this gentleman. And we'll talk about the fit and if is this something you guys would consider. But in the meantime, while that's processing, because you know how StreamYard is slow sometimes, man, slow. Randle for Sabonis. No. Yeah. I don't think Sacramento will want to do that. And I don't think he is enough of a difference maker. Randle and him have similar games. They've always had for their careers. Sabonis is a better passer. Defensively, though, Sabonis is not the greatest defender. He's a little better rebounder, though. But does that really make that much of a difference when you got a guy like Mitch, the best offensive rebounder in the league on your team? The Knicks are a top 5 rebounding team in the league, I think. They're definitely top 10, but I think they're top 5. I don't think it matters that much. Better teammate, yes. But I think the Knicks are at the point where they're looking for, if they trade Randle, they're looking for a substantial change. In a player that's something that they can't, that gives them something that they haven't had. So but I hear your point. He's a different culture guy. Even though he got a little loose this year, he was getting himself tossed out and getting a lot of texts. But he's a little different. I see what you're saying. I wouldn't hold my breath though on him coming to the Knicks. But I guess we'll talk about this guy. We've been talking about him already, but let's take a look at his numbers. Hold on, let me get to the chat. Dan says I would rather have KP. Hidalgo Soul, what's good? Salute to you. Thank you for tuning in and being in the chat. He said Mitch's basketball IQ is non-existent. Sherwin says Allen Houston got that money because he was worth it before he got hurt. Remember the moment when he got the money though. At that time, $100 million was a lot of money, bro. And Allen Houston is not a great defender. According to the Sherwin book of basketball, you wouldn't have given Allen Houston that money. So, I mean, I hear you. At this point, looking back, for what he did for the Knicks, yeah, you could see it. But at that time, $100 million was a lot of money. And he was not a two-way player. So, I hear you, though. In hindsight. No. Allen Houston wasn't a great defender. He was an adequate defender, yes. He wasn't a great defender, according to Sherwin standpoints. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Sherwin level of excellence, not the, okay, he's a good defender on a team. He does what he needs to do. No, I'm talking about Sherwin standards for defense. All right, but whatever. Okay, let's get back to what we were talking about. Zach Lavine, folks. So once again, shout out to Sha Money for opening my eyes about Zach Lavine and his actual health. He actually is a lot more healthy than I thought. People keep bringing up his knee issues, but the dude played 77 games, and he played 67 last year. So 62 in 2018, 60 in 2019, 58 in 20. 21 he played 67, and then last year 77. He's actually fairly healthy. So I'm gonna dismiss the whole he doesn't stay healthy, guys. I think that compared to if you look around the league and we're looking at how many games these guys are playing, he's fairly healthy. So let's dismiss that. Now it goes back to, does his numbers translate to something you want to see on your team? 24.8 points per game. So basically 25 points per game. 4.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.8 blocks, 84%, basically 85% from the. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. Damn it. I mixed those numbers up. Well, it's 84% from the free throw line, 48% from the field. I was working quick. I don't know how I did that. And now, since I'm such a perfectionist, I'm gonna have to change it because I don't want to see it like that. So 48.5, and then 84. See how long that takes to get fixed. We'll see. Okay, so let me pull this down for a second because, like I said, I get annoyed when stuff don't look right. But yeah, so that's his numbers, guys. So what are you guys thinking about when it comes to Zach Lavine? Keep in mind, I don't think we can use the injury bug on him right now. That narrative has to kind of die down. He's been playing. So outside of that, let me pull up his contract numbers, see how much money he's making. Because, I had an issue with that money before, but I also was under the impression that the dude didn't play. But he's played. So 5 years, $215 million. This year, he was making... Oh, no. This year, upcoming year, he's scheduled to make 40 million, then 43, 45, then 48. It's a lot of money, but it's less than Bradley Beal. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me see what you guys are saying. And you add this back. So that'll replace the other one. Just give it a little second. You know how StreamYard is. Okay. Gideon Amanqua, what's good? Salute, Gideon. Good to see you, my brother. Pudge says Cat and Zach. Interesting. That's interesting. Huh. I mean, offensively, that definitely changes what we look like. That's for sure. Let's see. Shaw Power said, let's get it. Lavine is the way to go. Okay. Kevin Middleton said, Allen Houston gave Kobe 50, worth $100 million. We gave Jerome James 36 million. He didn't play 10 games. That's a fact. Damn, he brought up the Jerome James. That's a sore spot for a lot of Knicks fans, bro. You cutting deep today, Kevin. That's a tough one. Snipe says Lavine is not that much better than RJ. Ooh, I don't know about that, Snipes. I don't know, brother. I mean, because when Lavine's shot is going good, now his shot can be inconsistent at times, but when his shot is going good, he's unstoppable because he got the inside game with the athleticism. You play up on him, he goes by you, he dunks on you with layup. RJ don't do that. Gideon says, I wouldn't mind Zach. Shaw Power says about 80% of the games played. Pudge, Knicks are nice says Knicks have the best medical staff as well. That's true. Apparently, that's what they say. He says Zach will be the new Spreewell. Sherwin says, I love Lavine's offense. I hate his defense. That's fair. Lavine is that Keith Turner says Lavine isn't that much better than RJ, man. Y'all crazy. Welcome to my life as a Knicks fan. I don't know how you can say that, bro. I just showed you Lavine is averaging 24.8. That's 25 a game. RJ's averaging 20 a game on inconsistent shooting and multiple attempts. Like, I know, no, don't get me wrong. Lavine be chucking it up too, but Lavine has a much better offensive game. He can score easier than RJ can. Like, he can get to the rack. He can shoot from outside. He's definitely more athletic. I think 5 points is, 5 points is a lot to average in the league. 20 points compared to 25 points is a difference. Somebody averaging 25 points compared to somebody averaging 30 points is a difference. Like, that's a difference. That's a fair point. But remember, if the Knicks feel like at this point in what they're trying to do, that they can't go any further with RJ because he's not improving the way they want him to improve. And I'm only saying this as like playing devil's advocate to put it out there, because you guys know RJ's still one of my favorite players. I'm saying one now because Jalen Brunson is starting to creep up. But RJ has regressed. The only thing that has really improved for RJ is his points per game, but his volume of shots have gone up substantially. So that points to that. But if you look at his overall game from what he was doing 2 years ago when he was shooting 41% from three or 40% from three, his overall game has regressed from that point. He's gotten worse on defense. He's gotten worse at shooting, but his points have gone up. So you look at him like, oh, but his numbers look better. Certain numbers look better because he's taking more shots. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Hidalgo Saul says Lavine is more efficient than Barrett and can be a difference maker. That I agree with. I think he's more efficient than him. Doesn't mean he's the best, but we're talking about who's available and who might be in the mix. Bricks Nation is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you, my guy. Keith Turner says, I would trade RJ for Lavine so fast it would make your head spin. Oh, man. Okay, now let's look. Let's see if I corrected it now. There we go. All right. 84.8 from the free throw line, 48.5. Oh, and let's take a look at that too. When we talk about RJ and Lavine, Lavine shoots like 85% from the free throw line, guys. How many free throws has RJ Barrett missed? 37.5% from three. RJ don't shoot the 37.5 from three. 48% from the field. I don't know what RJ's at. Let me see. RJ Barrett. I don't even know why I'm doing this to myself. I know it ain't right. Oh, boy. RJ is shooting 43% from the field, 31% from three, 74% from the free throw line. Come on, guys. You can't tell me that Zach Lavine is a big difference from RJ Barrett, if you ask me. I know we like him, but I mean, come on. I'm gonna take RJ's most efficient year, right? 2 years ago. He shot 44% from the field. Lavine shot 48 this year. He shot 40% from three. That's fair. Lavine shot 37 or 38. What was it? 37 from three. In that efficient year, RJ shot 74% from the free throw line. As we just said, Lavine shot 84%, almost 85%. 5.8 rebounds. He was rebounding a lot more, but then again, we have other players now that rebound, so they take those rebound opportunities from RJ. He doesn't even get a chance because there's other guys there now. Josh Hart cleans up the glass. When Mitch is not in there, Hartenstein helps with the boards, and we know Julius is a great rebounder. Quickly's a good rebounder too. So RJ just doesn't get a lot of opportunity to rebound the ball as much. 3 assists. You know, he don't move the ball that much. Zach doesn't do it crazy either, but he's averaging 4 assists. And then, you know, the big difference there, 17 points. That was 2 years ago per game. And obviously we know Zach is at 24. I don't know, man. I think it's not night and day, but there's a difference between those two guys. So, yeah. Let me drop that out of there. Okay. Let's go back to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Where were we? All right. So there's the thing. Going back to the defense side of it. Lavine's defense is better than RJ. That's not saying much, though. That's true. Now, let me just read what Zach Lavine said. Zach Lavine said, people can talk about my defense all they want to. I've always been one of the best on-ball defenders. In one-on-one situations, there's not a lot of people that are going to get by me. That doesn't mean he plays good help defense. Doesn't mean that. He just said specifically on-ball defense, there's not a lot of guys that get by me. Lavine has a defensive rating of 115, which is considered average league-wide per cleaning the glass. That's opponents score 0.5 points more per 100 possessions when he's on the court compared to when he's not, placing him in the 48th percentile among wings in the league. So I would point to that as well, going back to the whole thing that he's an average defender. 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry. So yeah, I would point to that. You can see I'm miming over here. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is the case. What Shop Howard said. He's not a great defender, but he's decent. Which sometimes RJ doesn't look decent. Sometimes he does. How do you guys feel about that? Lavine is an elite three-point shooter over recent years. True. I mean, 37, 38, 41, 38, 37. Yeah. I mean, his three-point percentage for his career is 38.4. So yeah, he can knock down the three. And if you're looking for a guy who can help with three-point shooting, he can do that. And that's building blocks. That's a really good point. The main thing is that Zach Lavine is a threat, whether he's hitting his shots or not, because he still has a good level of athleticism and can get to the rack, and he's explosive with that. So yeah, he that's the thing. That's what makes him different than RJ. If RJ was quicker and had a good first step, RJ would probably be a Knick for life. I mean, most of his career, should I say? We wouldn't even be talking about trading RJ. Yeah, that's true too. It's probably better in the playoffs. Um, these are all very good points. Very good points. So I just think we just got to be fair when we're looking at these guys. Um, you know, and I'm trying to be as fair as possible too, because my thing is, when I was thinking about Zach Lavine, I just thought the guy was never healthy, and we never saw him on the court, and I was wrong. He definitely does play. So because of that, I think we have to look at it a little differently. You know what I mean? Let's not be so quick to say no. All right, so let's see. CAA Mafia is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. He said, get Zion and call it a day. Okay. I mean, that's it. We're done here, folks. uh CAA says, why don't you want Zion? He's 22 with no major injuries. Embiid played 31 games his first 3 seasons. Some people have been throwing that out there, using the Embiid first years of his career and the Steph Curry thing when referencing Zion. That's a good point. Like some guys go through these injury issues early on in their career, it could last a couple years, and then it turns around and it works out. Uh I would say, if I'm answering, I mean, you're probably talking to the chat, but I would say, with regards to, you can't blame it all on Lavine for what is the issues with the Bulls. The Bulls need an orchestrator, right? You got to have a point guard. They got DeRozan, a scorer, Lavine, a scorer, Vucevic, a scorer, and they got a point guard who doesn't know how to get everybody the ball and facilitate properly, right? They're built top heavy. That team was built to be one of the best starting units in the NBA. The bench was always a concern for that team. And so this year, I think their bench was a little better than it was in the past, but their starting unit is not the same without having a solid point guard facilitator. Losing Ball, Lonzo was huge. It's huge. And you haven't had that. Don't forget, when Lonzo was here playing, they were number one in the league. At one time, they had the best record in the NBA. It changed, but then they held on to the best record in the Eastern Conference for quite some time. And then it flip-flopped, and then they were going back and forth between them and Miami and in Milwaukee, whatever. That was 2 years ago. And then last year, without Lonzo, you could just see it's a different team. They just don't. They're missing something. They don't have it. I'm not quite sure that they think they can get it, which is the reason why they're saying it's time to move on. We got to make a change. Makes sense to me. So, but I hear you. I mean, you're also asking, like, what has he done? Why such a big deal? Um, yeah. I mean, it's fair to ask. I do think that he's a good player though, and as I said, he plays. He's a lot healthier than I thought. Let me see. DeRozan will be RJ's mentor in Chicago. Well, yeah, I mean, he respects him. Um, Snipe says Danny Ainge didn't want RJ. That says a lot. I don't know. I think he did want RJ. He just wanted more. That's all it was. Remember, like the Knicks package to Utah was not a bad package. I just think that don't forget Zion, Danny Ainge and Leon were going at it. Okay, it was like Leon is trying to show, look, I heard about you. I know who you are. You're a shrewd negotiator. I'm the new guy. People don't know that if I'm a good GM and all this stuff, I'm the agent guy. I want to show there was more. This negotiation was more than just player for player, team against team. It was also savvy veteran GM versus new GM trying to show that I'm not going to be fleeced by you. I understand how this works. I can do things too. Here's my ultimatums. If you don't do this by this day, Monday, I'm going to have to sign my guy RJ to a new contract. There was gamesmanship going on, which didn't happen with other teams. That didn't happen with Cleveland Cavaliers. That was just a trade for a trade, a trade that happened. They weren't going back and forth. There was no animosity or anything. There was animosity between Danny Ainge and Leon Rose. And that's what made this difficult. And that's part of the reason why Danny Ainge didn't just take what probably was a really good offer that the Knicks offered. He wanted more. Like, no. You think you're something over there. Let me show you something. And I don't need you. That's what it was. And who loses in the end? Maybe the Knicks. Maybe not. Maybe we didn't need it. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it doesn't make that big of a difference. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's get to Snipe says Zion makes more sense than a 29-year-old. It's tough, guys. This is tough. I can't believe how all of this stuff is happening and coming out so quickly. And we really, I mean, the off season is just getting cracking. Like we are just at the beginning points of everything. Nothing has really happened yet. Sorry, let me fix my thingy here. Apologize. Green screen is tripping. There we go. Better. Yeah. So I mean that's like we're gonna go back and forth with this all off season until something happens. Now we may be in for a treat, guys. You know, a lot of people think that there may be a lot of movement on draft night. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of that happen, but it could happen. Snipe says Zion is going to cost a haul. Yeah, if you're dealing with David Griffin, no doubt. No doubt. He is trying. I'm telling you, these guys are the fleece masters. David Griffin, Danny Ainge, fleece masters. Fleece master flex. That's what hard to get a ticket. These dudes, these guys. And it happens all the time. He always finds out he finds a way. He inherits talent. This dude took over the GM and got a top pick when he went to New Orleans. How does that happen? He always finds a way. So I would expect it. I would expect it. And the whole point is what's the price? Now you would have to come with a really strong argument and say, look, these are the metrics. I've took a look at Zion. This is his weight. This is what he's been doing. This is his amount of games played. I'm not giving you everything you want. You're gonna have to work with me, and they have to figure it out. And we might take this person off your hands because we know that you want to get out from under this person's contract. They might have to do, which kind of stinks too. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get what you want. You know, are you guys okay with having to take back another player from the Pelicans that may not be the greatest contract so you can get Zion? That's the question. Are you prepared to do that? Is that's a high possibility? Um, wait a minute. That's interesting. So Zion played 29 games last year. That wasn't 25. I'm sorry. 61 the year before that and 24 the year before that. I don't know, man. But even though I'm saying that, when I look at what he can do, I'm still intrigued. I can't lie to you. I'm still intrigued. You can't not be. You can't not be. He does enough out there that you like, that. And he hasn't even touched the surface of his prime. 22. As much as we like to say about RJ Barrett, who's 22 and hasn't really, like, Zion is the same age and he is better than RJ Barrett and has so much more talent to be able to do certain things better than him. Once again, not a great defender himself, but the explosiveness is incredible. I mean, we're talking like baby Charles Barkley over there. Coach Sire is in the building. What's good, man? Hope you're doing well. Um, hmm. Okay, let's see here. Tashim Ali is in the building. Salute. Thank you for being in the chat. I think this might be my first time seeing you here. Appreciate you. Thanks for rocking with us. He said maybe the Garden can glorify Mount Zion. The Garden can redeem his career and reputation. Maybe. Listen, like that could be what does it, man. That could be what resurrects um you know, the perception of Zion. And I mean, because let me tell you, if Zion comes here and is fairly healthy, if we can get 65 games out of Zion and the playoffs, I think a lot of Knicks fans would be happy with that. And I think in that time he'll do some really special things for the team. So maybe you might be right. I could see it. I could see it happening. That could be the case. I mean, you're hoping to catch lightning in the bottle. That's all I'm saying. But it's that 22 thing is what's getting me, man. It's the fact that he's 22 years old. If you're gonna take a chance, the best time to do it is take a chance on a really young player. Alawai said Zion's body is 58 years old, though. Oh man. Aha. Zion might as well be 30 with that body. Ribby's in the building. Salute. What's good, Ribby? Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Me too, Andy. He said, I'll take that bad Brandon Ingram contract with Zion. Yeah. Me and you both, buddy. Oh, that's a good point, Knicks 100. And salute to you. Thanks for being here. He said 6'6", jumping the way he does. We just begging for Antonio McDyess part 2. Oh, wow. See, that's the other thing, too. He's a violent jumper, very explosive. But the way he jumps with all that weight and coming down, he definitely is going to – it's something you got to watch. Something you got to watch. Oh, man. It's tough, guys, because he's a special talent, but he's so unique with all that weight and that torque, the amount of torque he creates to be jumping the way he jumps. This dude is an incredible leaper. I don't know. Well, let's take a look at his numbers. So Zion Williamson, 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1.1 steals, 0.6 blocks, 60% from the field, 36% from 3. Now, this is only in 29 games, guys. 71% from the free throw line. The year before that, in 61 games, Zion shot 29% from 3. So, yeah, kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see here. Let me get my guy G Money in here. Chop it up with him, see what he's thinking. G,
what's cracking slack? It was shaking and baking, everyone.
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Doing great. Hope everyone.
Uh-oh. Lost you. Maybe you'll come right back.
There. So, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, man. What's your thoughts? I mean, you're welcome to speak on we're talking about Zion right now, but you're welcome to speak on Zach Lavine again if you want. But what's your thoughts?
Let's start with Zion. Since we're on the Zion topic, I like Mount Zion. I love Zion because he does bring a lot of iron in his game. He's athletic. He can finish at the rim, and he can run and jump like a kangaroo. My only issue with Zion is that the dude's a walking hospital bed. I mean, he's only played 114 games his whole career. He's only played 114 games his whole career. I mean, and also even though he can finish in the paint, he's not a great post up player. He's more of a slasher though, and also he's not a good outside shooter though. So that's my issue with Zion Williamson though. And if he can work on his passing ability, he'll be fine. He's a good defender. He can protect the rim. He can karate swat block shots there. But my issue with Zion Williamson, he just needs to stay healthy, and just get a jumper in there. If he can do that, then that'll be great. And I see Mega NYK say my choice will involve Michael Porter. Nah, I like Michael Porter, but I don't think New York needs Michael Porter though. So I'd rather get Zion. Yeah, I mean Zion 50-50 against Zion though. If he can prove to me he'll stay healthy for a full season, then that'll be different. But my interest in Zion is really healthy. He hasn't played 60+ games since 2021 when he played 61.
True. That's true. So it's tough because I'm so at the crossroads on this, guys. I really want to just come at you guys with confidence and say, no, let's not get Zion. Or yes, let's get Zion. But I'm on the fence.
50-50.
It's like, yeah, the injury stuff really concerns me. But then the proposition, the idea that you can get a generational type talent right now while he's 22 years old, it's like, when else are you going to be able to get this? How did we know? Even if we had the number 1 draft pick, we don't know if we get the right guy. No, I mean, that's not true. I mean, we probably get the right guy. But in this case, you know what I mean? But if we had a top draft pick, you don't know if you're going to draft the right person.
Mm-hmm.
But when a guy's already in the league and you could already see what they are when they're healthy, it's tough, man. It's like it's hard to say no. It's hard to say don't pick up the phone if they call, if they're asking about Zion. It's tough. I guess I would be concerned more about what the Knicks would have to give up, what David Griffin would want in return.
You had to trade Randle. You had to trade Randle.
Oh yeah. Randle's got to go. But who knows if David Griffin? Listen, you guys think I'm joking. David Griffin is a monster, man. He might say, no, yeah, okay. We'll start with Randle. And that's what I'm like. I'm ready to hang up the phone on you. What? Come on, man. Like you getting Randle, and maybe I'll give you a pick or two or something. We got to figure something out that makes sense because Randle's an all-star, all-NBA. And Zion's generational talent. So maybe he deserves a pick too because he's a young guy and Julius is older. But I'm not giving you that much for Zion if Randle's going. Let's just keep it funky. Let me see here. All right. Building Block said Zion has played more games than Joel Embiid during the same time frame when they started in the league. There's truth to that. And that's why I say, like, some people are making an argument that if you look at Zion in comparison to like a Steph Curry or Joel Embiid, you might be regretting this and kicking yourself in the backside for years to come if you don't make the move now. Because if he turns around and gets himself together and gets healthy, everybody's going to look back at this point and point the figure and said the Knicks had a chance to get him and they didn't do it, and look at him now.
Right.
That's the 50-50 thing. That's where I'm in the crossroads, man. That's where I'm a little stuck. Let me see if Shah is here. I see Shah's in the back. I'll just add him when he's ready. If he's here, he is here. Shah is in the building. What's good, brother?
Hey, what's next second?
I think you're on mute.
Muted.
I sure am. Salute G Money, salute Ron. Let's get it.
Hey, appreciate you. And once again, congratulations to you guys over at Knicks Real Talk for getting that 1,000 subs, man. Keep showing. Hey, don't stop now, guys. Keep showing your love for Knicks Real Talk and Shy and Divine and what they got going on over there. Keep telling your peoples. Yes. Keep showing the love. Salute to Angel Torres. What's going on, my brother? Appreciate you.
Right.
So, Sha, what's your thoughts? Yeah.
On Zion?
Yeah.
I mean, to get him here and get him healthy would be awesome, but that's the big caveat to everything, him being healthy. And I just heard y'all was talking about how Embiid started his career and also how Curry started his career, on the hurt side of things. And I heard you earlier talking about it too, Ron, about maybe a couple of those games. He had a hamstring injury for like 9 months, 7 months or something like that. Not saying that it wasn't, but maybe he just didn't want to play. It's a lot of hoopla in that New Orleans area. We talked about this a little last night. And players don't stay there for long. You know what I mean? AD didn't want to stay there. Randle got out of there. I mean, there's a couple of guys that was there and that, it didn't sound like they had a good experience in New Orleans. So maybe he's playing, a dead fish or something, maybe he's playing, what's the squirrel when they freeze or whatever. I forgot the animal that is, but maybe he's playing that type of role. Maybe he could come here and, explode. I mean, but what we would be giving up is a 2-time All-Star, All-NBA type of player. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what we would have to. And plus, it's not just that. We would have to give up something else, like an IQ or a Grimes, or it's not just Randle. It's not going to be a straight-up trade. I mean, maybe because of his the hoopla for his name just makes his contract so much bigger. So, you know, that's probably where we would probably be at.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. It may take, you know, maybe it may be a Randle, a young player, and a pick.
Yeah.
And I know some people are like, you tripping, like that's crazy. I mean, look at Randle's numbers compared to what Zion did, and Randle's healthy. It ain't about that. To an organization who you had the #1 pick with Zion, it's just this is how trades work. You're gonna have to give up, you know, something for a generational type talent. Say what you will about Julius Randle and his numbers. He's just not necessarily considered a generational talent. He's a really good player, but Zion could turn into be one of the best players, top 5 in the league when everything's all said and done, if he stays healthy. That's the thing. Like Charles Barkley, when he came into the league, was a beast. As Charles Barkley's career continued, he became a monster. Now, he didn't win a championship, but you can't say that Charles Barkley wasn't one of the best players in the league. He had moments where he might have been top 5 at certain points.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I hear it.
It's a big throw in the air, man. You putting everything in the basket and hoping, you know, that it works. And if it works, you know, the New York City will be, you know, incredibly lit. But if just imagine if we would have had Zion with the type of years that he's already had in his career, all these games, these last 3 years, could you imagine how we tear Julius Randle up for just, you know, putting the thumbs up to us and stuff like that? What would we be doing about Zion? I mean, I'm a Knicks fan. I know how Knicks fans are, man. We be ripping Zion right now down, trade him on the first train going. Let's get him out of here. We be ripping him apart. So if he comes over here and has 2 bad years on that contract that he have, oh man, I don't want that to happen to him, man, because I know how us Knicks fans are, man. We every time he get on the court, even if he's sitting on the bench, we be booing him. So
facts. But you know, the one thing that I can say, at least from what I've noticed, is that when Zion is out there and playing, he's doing his thing. Yes, I haven't seen him not be good while he's actually playing. It's the problem is him being there. But when he's playing, he's doing. I mean, like there was a point, you know. I'm not saying that I'm on FanDuel or anything like that, but if I was, there was a point where Zion was putting up numbers. He was in them 30s. He had a stretch of like 34, 35, 30. He was putting up some numbers. And I was like, oh, okay, Zion. So when he's healthy, he's really impressive. It's just that he just doesn't stay healthy enough for me to say that. And then to your point, what I was kind of alluding at and what you brought up again, Shah, I mean, we don't know what's real and what's not.
Facts.
Maybe Shah was hitting on something. You know, maybe Zion was, you know, he's all right. It was like, nah, man, I ain't messing with these dudes.
I feel somewhat about, I hate to say it out loud, you know, because I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I feel that same way about Beal too. Some games, Beal going in the game, we ain't making the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's a game that they should be able to, you know, win, or then he just be like, man, I don't feel like playing tonight. Put me DMP, man. I ain't playing tonight. And I'm not saying that he does. I'm not saying that because he has had some injuries. But some of the injuries last a little longer than average players that get injured with the same type of injury. You know, different person, different muscle structures and all that stuff, but the same type of injury. Some players be out 2 weeks, usually lasting a month and a half. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you may be right about that. I will say that I don't know if any players doing this for certain, but if somebody was to do it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Beal, because I've seen Beal get frustrated on the court with his guys. Like, Beal's been there for a minute. I've seen Beal telling people stuff on the court because stuff ain't happening the way it should. But who knows? Who knows? You know, it could be anything. It could be anything. But I just think that something seems a little off there with Zion. I mean, that whole, and I think that's kind of let's point to that too. If we're going to talk about it, we might as well talk about that as well. How do you guys feel if there's a player on your team that looks like they could be out there with his teammates and it's not out there, not playing? How do you feel about that player? Let me start with G Money, and then G Money, pass it over to Shaw, and I'll be right back in 1 second if you guys don't mind.
Right. To me, it depends on the situation. If you're like sick, like had the virus or a family death, then I can understand not being there with your teammates. But other than that, if you don't show up for your teammates, that's disrespectful and wrong. Because if you're healthy enough to play, you got to go out there and play and help your teammates out through thick and thin. Because your teammates are giving their heart and soul into bringing the win to you. And if you just back down and sit out for the sake of sitting out, and don't show up for your teammates, that's just wrong and disgusting. I remember one time Zion said, this was before the playing game against the Thunder. He said, I will come back when I feel like Zion. It's blasphemy, man. You're healthy enough to play. Get your behind on the court and rip some nets, man. Come on.
I'm just gonna say this: if you ain't coming out, if you lightly hurt and you ain't coming out to play for your team to put your best foot forward, then I don't even know why you're playing the game. You know what I mean? You know, injuries are injuries, man. Like I said, everybody's body is different. You know what I mean? I could tear my Achilles and you could tear your Achilles and you can make a quicker recovery than me just because of your genetics. You know what I mean? So I'm not, saying that about anybody, but if you on the court and you could have played and you didn't play, especially if this was a bigger game, we going down the line towards the playoffs and stuff like that, and you want to we got 12 games left and you want to sit out 2 games and you can get out there and give us, maybe not all your production that you give out, but a percentage. That I give Julius Randle so much kudos. Like, I tear him down. I think that I always say that the fit, with Julius Randle, sometimes the minutes that he takes away from the ball. Anyway, I'm getting off the top. I'm sorry, but
no, you good.
It's all about fit. With me and if you can't get on the Julius Randle got out there and played that basketball with 2 twisted ankles. That he after the season he had to get surgery for. I give him mad props for that. Because that's not a lot of players. A lot of players stump their toe and they out for 3 weeks. It's genetics, but it also depends on what type of team you're on and how you are indwelled in your team. If you and your team is tight, you want to get out there and play for them. But if you and your team ain't, y'all cool, but y'all ain't tight, that's my teammates. We cool, but I ain't going out there to fight the other team for them and stuff like that. If I'm on the court and they get in a fight and I'm not going to go over there and try to, throw a punch or something like that, then I'm just saying.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm with you as well. I think that's the case. Like, if you can play, you should be out there. However, I'm only gonna say it like this because you brought him up. In the case of Julius Randle, when he felt like he could be out there and played, maybe he shouldn't have been.
Right.
Maybe he shouldn't have been. So it's tough. But the difference is Julius Randle has been in this league for 8 years. Played 7. Yes, 9 years. Yeah, played. Yeah. So Zion is a young pup. Zion needs to kind of show that level of things.
Facts.
first. Like, so I would say, yeah, Zion needs to kind of, if he could be out there, he should be out there because it's different. Julius has been in the league and has shown that he's fairly healthy, usually plays all the games, and wants to be out there no matter what. Zion hasn't shown that yet. So if I was Zion, I would look at it a little different. Like, yeah, even if I'm not, I don't like the Pelicans. Front office is acting funky. I got to be out there. I can't let the league think I'm not who I am. I'm this guy, so I got to be out there. So
yeah, let me.
I would look at it a little differently. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look at what they're doing now. Look at how they're fired Teresa Witherspoon, who apparently was the closest person in the organization to Zion Williamson. That's saying a lot to me. So for those that kind of think that maybe Brandon Ingram is somebody that can be traded, I think that Zion is the one that's out. I think he's going to be the one they find to move because they really want to get that second pick in the draft if they can, or third maybe. Mm-hmm. But I think they want the second. I think that's the guy they're going to try to really move to get that pick.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see. It's all like, this is all, who knows, man? You know what I mean? We're throwing darts at the wall and see what hits, right? But as we all know, Zion is not the only one that has been part of this rumor mill. And Kerry Cox said Zion sweats gravy. Yeah, you crazy, Kerry. Come on. Burger King Williamson. Y'all ain't right, B. Y'all are not right. Oh man, this is crazy. All right, so let's get to this guy right here. Bradley Beal. So Bradley Beal has averaged 23.2 points per game this past year, 3.9 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.7 blocks, 50% from the field, 36% from three, 84% from the free throw line. Another solid player with solid stats. As I've said before, I don't make a big deal about Bradley Beal as a player. These numbers are fantastic. These are much better numbers than a lot of guys, and he would be the second best player on this team numbers wise. Efficiency, he'd probably be the second best player efficiently. I think Brunson might be better. Yeah, Brunson's a little better overall efficiently, but Bradley Beal is right there. Problem I've said before, and I keep saying it, if the Knicks say today we're trading for Bradley Beal and tomorrow Bradley Beal's a New York Knick, am I going to be mad? No. I'll be a little concerned because I'm like, well, what do we do now? What's next? How can we do anything in the future? If this don't work out, we screwed, because as the older he gets, the less likely a team is going to want to take on his contract and trade for him. So if you get him, you don't know if you're going to be the last team that gets stuck with him. That being said, he's not a bad player. These are really good numbers. As I said before, only issue I have is that his contract is pretty crazy. Let me pull that up real quick. And the fact that contract was based on Bradley Beal playing at his highest level. He was averaging 31 points per game, and he's averaging 23 now. So you got the 31 point per game contract for the 23 point per game player. That's what drives me a little crazy. This year he is set to make $46 million. 46 and a half. Well, 46.7 if you're getting technical. Next year, next year, like next year. This year coming up, this basketball year when they play, he's gonna be making 46. The following year, 50 million. The year after that, 53 million. The year after that, 57 million. Ouch. So
yeah.
I ask you, G Money, are you okay with this if it's just a straight up Knicks find a way to trade for Bradley Beal?
I'm 50-50 on this move. I know Bradley Beal is a wizard scoring wise, no pun intended. He's a wizard with the ball scoring wise sometimes. But my issue with Brad Beal, he can put the rack up the points, but he can be streaky sometimes. 2, he's not a good defender. 3, he's a chuck. And 4, even though he is athletic, though, he can shoot you in the game. He can shoot you out of the game. He's a good player. Bradley Beal is a good player. He's an all-star caliber player when his head is out of his butt. But my issue, but it's the contract that worries me. I mean, this year Brad Beal is making 47 million come 2023, 2024 year. I don't know though. I'm 50-50 though. I'm 50-50 on that move. You know how much depth we have to give up?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and that's why I said what I said. And I once again, I want people to understand. I'm not saying that I'm going to throw myself back into this whole Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes and deal with all that craziness again. I'd rather see Donovan Mitchell in free agency when we could just come up with the money and sign him. Yeah. All I'm saying is, as far as contract wise, Bradley Beal's contract is much bigger than Donovan Mitchell's contract. And as far as the player goes, I mean, he's averaging 23 points per game. Donovan Mitchell averaged 28 points per game this past year. If I'm going to throw a package out there for Beal, I might as well throw that same package out there for Donovan and see what happens. But I just wanted to say that one last time to move on from it. But so I'm still at the crossroads on this one too. Like I said, it's not a bad move. Does he make the Knicks better than they were? Yeah, but it's just a lot. I don't know. Sha, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm also on the fence. If somehow that he gets his way over here, I'm going to root for him because I know he's a great player when he's on the court. He's a scorer at all 3 levels. He can make it to the drive to the basket, shoot the short jump shot, and he can make threes. I'm not so sure his rebounding and and his assists, but him coming over here, he would come in as the 2, so we will have a shorter but a stronger scoring threat in that backcourt. The money, that's pretty much it. I think he becomes anybody that we're talking about right now. If a change of venue could change the way they want to be on the court. The Zion Williams, the Bradley Beals, anybody we're talking about, because a change could be for the good or for the worse, and more hopefully we look for the best. You know what I mean? And if he comes here, I would root him on for his contract. I think we could almost get 2 players to fill that position, because with him coming here now, we got to revamp the whole team. We're probably not going to have RJ, so he's probably going to be in the move. So now we got to look to get a small forward now. You know what I mean? Now we're getting 2 players now that has to change the way the team is going to play. And we may have to give up 2 players in the second unit or a play in the front. We might give up Grimes and OB and RJ, or something like that. Somebody from that second unit. Somebody is not going to be J Hart, so it's going to be somebody from that second unit. A Hardenstein, a OB, one player from the starting unit, a RJ, or Mitch, or however we can make the money, work. But now we have a different team, and I think right now with all these teams in the East, that's about to maybe blow it up a little bit and not be the same team they were last year. I think we got a better chance of staying pat with the team that we have and adding 1 player, and I'm not sure if it's Bradley Beal. I would entertain it though. I'm not. Like I said, if they made the move and got him over here, I know what he's going to bring. So I'd be happy to see him here. But initially, if we're going anyway, we don't have no choice in the deal anyway. He has to make the choice if he wants to come here. So whatever it is.
Yeah, that's fair. It's yeah, and that's the other thing. Thank you for bringing that up again, because that's the other thing about it too. Imagine putting together one of your best strong packages, right? And Wizards are like, I don't know about this. Take this out, add this. Like, I don't know. What if we take this out, add this, and do this? And then the Wizards are like, yeah, that works. All right, cool. Nice. We'll talk to Bradley and we'll get right back to you. Bradley's like, no, I don't like that, man. and then you're back at square one. Oh hell no.
Yeah. Because the way his contract is structured is it's like he's making the trade, so he knows when he goes to that team that they're going to be, on their way upward. They're going to be ascending. He's not going to trade away RJ Barrett and Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson and go to a team that not going to have anything, that's going to have to waste a year to get back better and go back into the trade and all that other stuff. So his contract is not even the money. It's the power that he has over his contract that kind of scares me too. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact. All 450 NBA players will be traded to the Knicks next season.
Word out, right? Long time. Every year we got about 300 players coming to the Knicks every year.
Yep, it don't stop. Salute to you, Long Island Sound. Good to see you, man. Yeah, we're always dealing with the same thing over and over. It never stops. But it is what it is. We're here to address it, I guess. Maybe something actually comes through and it's real, but I don't know. Someone else said something that was kind of funny. I don't know where it is now. Oh man, I lost it. It was something about Karl Anthony Towns in Fortnite and instead of the gym, which was funny because he loves his Fortnite. Anyway, strong. Keith Turner says if Leon Rose trades for Zion, he needs to be fired immediately. Until Zion goes out there and puts up numbers and we're like, oh man, Zion's healthy. How all of a sudden Zion plays 65, 70 games? Where does this come from? then everybody start looking at Zion sideways like, oh, I see what you did. That's dirty. I don't know, but we'll see. Anything can happen, man. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of torque, a lot of weight on him. The way he moves would be very difficult to sustain that in a healthy manner. All right, now let's get to the last guy. And there's probably going to be other guys out there that we're talking about that might pop up, that names that get thrown around that they're coming to the Knicks as well. But this is the last guy, and we've talked about him in the past on the show, but I never looked at his numbers on the show and talked about him. And shout out to, I forgot who it was. Oh, Divine. This was on another show. And Divine actually got me to look deeper into Karl Anthony Towns and appreciate what he is once again, because, out of sight, out of mind. And then after what I heard about him and then looking for the Knicks to get dogs and change the climate, I just forgot all about Karl Anthony Towns. I'm like, I'm done with this guy. But here's the thing, guys. If the Knicks have this same team, right, and then we have to trade a couple pieces away, for Karl Anthony Towns, it would either be Obi's gone, probably. It would either be Randle or RJ, maybe a Quickly or a Grimes. I don't know, one of them. And then maybe something to make money work. I don't know how that would fit. And 3 draft picks probably. So it would be a big package. It would be crazy. Are you guys okay with the fact of bringing him in, knowing that he's not a dog? Are you okay with, hey, I know this guy's not a dog, but let me continue to put some dogs around him? I got Jalen Brunson. I got Josh Hart, hopefully, if they got the money to sign him. And let me go get another dog out there who people aren't even expecting us to get. I don't know. It could be Patrick Beverly. It could be anybody. You know what I mean? And just not him. No, because he played with him already. That ain't going to work. But, somebody else, whatever, and see how that works. But hold that. We'll get right back to it. Let's look at his numbers real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So Karl Anthony Towns, 20.8 points per game, 8.1 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.6 blocks, 49.5 from the field, 36.6 from 3, 87.4 from the free throw line. Now, honestly, when you look at these numbers, these are really good numbers for a center in the league, like really good numbers. But this was a down year for Karl Anthony Towns. He was hurt for a lot of the season. So when you look at these numbers, they're not necessarily the true representation of who he is. The year before this, he averaged 24. The year before that, 24. The year before that, 26. The year before that, 24, 21, 25. So he's a better scorer than even this. Shooting wise, from the free throw line, it's probably the best he's ever been. It is. From 3-point range, 36 this past year, 41 the year before, 38 the year before that, 41, 40, 42. 30. Like, this dude can shoot the rock. Field goal 49, 52, 58. So just looking at the averages, his career average is 52% from the field, 39.5 from three, 83.5 from the free throw line. He would be probably the third best free throw shooter on the team as at the center position. Rebounding, averaging 11.2 for his career, 3.2 assists from your center, which is nice, 1.3 blocks, and 23 points for his career is what he averaged. So that's fair to look at. That's his real numbers overall. He's a beast offensively. He is what he is. What do you think about Karl Anthony Towns, G-Money? Keep in mind, if you take out that he's a dog, we know he's not. Just take out he's a really good player who can stretch the floor from the center position, is one of the best centers in the NBA. How do you feel about him coming to the Knicks?
I would not really mind Towns Cat coming to the Knicks. I know, like you said, Cat doesn't have that much heart, but talent wise, he's a top 10 to top 15 power forward in the NBA right now. Not all time. I'm talking about right now. Top 10 to top 15 power forward in the NBA. He can stroke it from three. I know he can be hot and cold sometimes, but he can stroke it from three. He could hit the mid-range shot. He could fly to the rim. He's not a good defender, but I know his rebounding can come and go sometimes. But Cat to the Knicks, I would not really hate that move. It's not the greatest of moves, but it'll be an okay move because you get another stretch five, a guy that could rebound his headers in his game, and he could. He could post up when he wants to, though. I know he's not the greatest post up player, but he could when he wants to. So I would not mind Big Cat in the Big Apple. Hopefully, it's not I hope it's not a catastrophe in New York. Hope it's not.
Oh man, shot. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
I mean, Cat's he's a baller, man, and he can score the basketball, man, and he can compete with some of these big guys, the Embiids and stuff like that. We always talk about how hurt he is, but Cat's only really had 2 bad years. This year that just passed, and if I'm not mistaken, let me look it up. 2019-2020 season, he had 35 games, but overall, he's played about 511 games in his career. His first year, he came in 82 games. Second year, 82 games. Third game, 82 games. Fourth year, 77 games. 19, he had that 35 game when he got hurt. I think that's when he hurt his leg. The 50 year, we also got to remember that I think that was the COVID year. The 50 was 2020. He played 50 games. It was only 72 games, so he missed 20 games that year. Last 21-22, he played 74 games. This year he got hurt again and had 29 games. So he's really not per se injury prone, but when he gets hurt, he goes out. You know what I mean? But the guy's a dog, though. He got a post-up game. He got a short jumper game. He could hit the 3-point shot. You know what I mean? The thing that that kind of discouraged me from him is that contract. If he had a 36 million contract like a KP, I would snatch him in a heartbeat. The guy could shoot. The one thing that we need is some offense from the center position, and he can shoot the 3. He stretches the 3. He stretches you out to the 3. One of the best big men to shoot the 3-point shot. So I would if his money was a little lower, I would jump all over him. That 50 million, 57 million, and 61 or whatever, however those contracts go around them numbers, that's what makes me be like, Now he's not, he's a big boy and he plays basketball. I didn't see him throw it on some of the best of them and play some great defense against some of the best players. Like I said, Embiid and these guys. He's not no joke. People call him soft because he plays the perimeter a little bit more than he should. but I'm pretty sure in the Tom Thibodeau scheme, he would get a little bit more back to the basket. You know what I mean? And he definitely, with depending on what's left of the team, because you're going to have to give up a lot of players for him. You know what I mean? It could be something that you could work towards, but I'm not ready to tear a lot of our foundation up. You know, we looking at Cat, we're looking at Grant, we're looking at RJ, we're looking at not so much Evan. We could give up Evan Fournier, but Evan Fournier, RJ, probably one of the guys off the bench, or Quentin Grimes or IQ or Evan Fournier and Obi. One of those key guys off our bench would probably be going in that trade too. And then we're looking at about how many picks we're gonna send them. 3 first-round picks and maybe 2 unprotected and a swap. That's a lot for this guy. And he's every year the salary cap goes up, his pay goes up. You know what I mean? That's another thing that I look at. Every time we go up, it's not like we're gonna gain that much money in our salary, because his salary goes up as well. You know what I mean? And the Knicks have done real good things with a lot of players that they have, given them the descendant contracts to bank them a little bit more money in the latter years in their contract. And this guy contract, every year he's getting about $6-7 more million, $4, $5, $6 million. Cat, if his money was a little different, I would jump all over him. 40 million. If he was like one of these $39-40 million players, I'd jump all over him. But his contract over the years, if he got to the Knicks, I would support him, because I think he'll be something that we need. Another guy that you could do a pick and pop with Brunson at the top. And it's not going to be too many zone defenses against these guys, because this guy can shoot the 3-pointer. So that man that I talk about, that's always playing Mitchell Robinson, is the guy that always is double teaming. You're not going to be double teaming as much, because Cat will shoot your eyes out from that 3-point line.
Yeah.
Right, but Cat's also making $36 million come next season, though.
Is it 30?
But it's not about it's not about that. And you took the words right out of my mouth, G Money. I was just about to say, so Cat's scheduled to make $36 million this next year, but to Shah's point, it's about the fact that once the Knicks get him after that first year, now it's contract time, and he's going to get the super duper bag, the ill nana bag, the Foxy Brown. So listen, that is going to be exactly what Shah said. He's getting the 50 to 60 million type money. He's getting that huge bag. But here's the thing. This is what I want to say. I know, don't kill me, Knicks fans. Don't kill me. Because I see Keith Turner saying Cat is a downgrade from Julius Randle. Absolutely not, Keith. Absolutely not. He is definitely not. These numbers that I just said to you, remember, Cat only played 29 games this year because he was hurt. And he was really hurt because that injury that he had,
he was really hurt.
It takes a while to recover from. And for a 7-foot guy who's he's a light 7-foot, he's got some good weight on him. He's a good size basketball player. That it's going to take a minute for him to get right and for him to be able to move. And I think that's part of the reason why he doesn't even look like the Cat we're used to, because he's still recovering from that injury. Because you compare every other year he's been in the league to how his numbers look this year, and they took a big dip. So I think next year those numbers will go back up. But if you just want to, let's look at the year before, and that's not even Cat's best year. But let's just look at the year before. He averaged 24.6 points per game, 9.8 rebounds. So that's a double-double right there. 9.8 is 10. Okay, that's a double-double. 3.6 assists. 1.1 blocks. A block a game is what you would expect from your center, at least. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. He's not a great defender. He's a good defender, like he can stay in front of his guy, and but he's not like defensively. He's just not one of the best. But he's a good defender, so he don't kill you there. 41% from 3. Randle could never. 52% from the field. 82% from the free throw line. Cat's a good player, man. Cat is a really good player. Now, I'm going to say this. Is he worth getting the big bag? Yeah, he is. Just for what he does offensively from the center position, overall, he's a good player. Defensively, he's not the greatest, but he's decent. Now, the dog part of it, the dog cat, I know people are getting tired of it. I see you guys in the chat. If you're trying to win with Cat, like if you're building around Cat, maybe you don't want to do that. But if you already have a team, for example, a team that, won their first playoff series and won 47 games in the regular season and already have some pieces, you know what I mean? Maybe Cat is a little different. I'm just saying. Maybe. You know what I mean? So just look at it that way. It may be a little different like that. Because I'm not a big fan of Cat. I feel like sometimes he don't show me the heart that I want to see, but I got to look at it for what it is.
Especially in the playoffs.
Bring Cat over here. Cat changes things. Like Cat may come here, play under Tom Thibodeau again with a better team and buy into the system, right? Because one thing that Cat does, Cat's really free Willy out there in Minnesota. They got Cat be pulling like he a guard. Like he be just coming down the court and jacking. Like I don't know if that's going to rock in Thibodeau's system. Thibodeau will let you shoot, but you got to work within this system. That might help Cat. That might make Cat, even better. Maybe he'll start focusing more on back into the paint a little bit more. He'll still shoot his threes, but he'll do things and be a little bit more solid that way. And which will also allow him to be around to get more rebounds because he won't be on the perimeter shooting threes as much. He can be in the paint to get an offensive rebound or something like that. Just the thought. The other thing is, he plays in Minnesota, guys. There's a difference between playing in Minnesota and New York. He might come to New York and really love it here and ball out. So I'm just putting it out there. Like I feel a certain way about Cat because of what I've seen and what I've heard, but that's because I'm looking for a monster to come in here and really, but he is a monster offensively, and we don't really need a monster like that because I really think that we got one in Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart's mentality gives us the other thing that we're missing. I think we got the grit. I mean, we could always use another defensive 3-and-D type of guy who has that same type of grit, but we may not need it from Cat. We may just need Cat to come out here and do what Cat does. Just saying. So, D. Cooler says, "Nah, I'm good." I don't know, man. I think you never know. Cat might surprise you. Like he might be the guy. And I'm surprised that I'm even saying this, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate, and I'm just looking at it as a Knicks fan. You throw Cat in there, a guy who legitimately could stretch the floor, because this is legitimate. I don't care about some of these other guys that we've seen. He's a better three-point shooter than KP. He's a better shooter than Miles Turner. He can shoot. So I will say that, yes, true too. So maybe Cat might be the answer that we're avoiding because he just doesn't exemplify that type of player. But you don't need that if you're getting it from other guys. Because the other thing about Minnesota is think about who they got over there right now. If Cat's not the dog and he doesn't step up in certain situations, who's the guy who's going to step up? Anthony Edwards, who sometimes his game is missing. And he's got the grit, but sometimes his game don't show up. I've seen Anthony Edwards put up stinkers. He puts up stinkers sometimes. When you got a guy like Josh Hart here who has the mentality, and then you got a Jalen Brunson who can get it done, I think we might be all right. We might be overthinking it a little bit. Maybe I was overthinking it. So just a thought.
I can say one thing. I've seen Cat play. He plays good, but Divine has woken me up to him as well. Because I started doing a little bit of homework on him, and he's not really that injury prone. He has a game that he can back you down in the post. He can shoot a short jumper, and he is pretty good from the 3-point land. And the biggest thing that I'm trying to do this year for the Knicks, what I would want, not like I could do anything, but what I would want is the Knicks to have that. We keep talking about that 3-and-D type of player, and him coming off the high pick and roll, pick and pop with Brunson, that that's going to be deadly. That's one of the reasons why I like KP. I can see that high pick and roll. I seen a couple of, watching the internet and see them. They play when they played in Dallas, that high pick and roll with them. You leave that guy open, KP or Cat, he's going to knock that shot down. And that's what we're missing. Our 3-point shooting is one of the lowest in the league, if not the lowest. I think we're 26 or something like that. You know what I mean? If we can increase and get to 13, that makes our team better, because now we have the offense that we're looking for. And another reason why I say that is because now Mitch is my guy. I love Mitch, man. I'm a homer for Mitch since he's been in the league, man. But we may not need as many offensive rebounds now because we're making more shots. You know what I mean? So we, the yin to the yang, if Mitch was to somehow be in this deal or something like that, we may not need as many offensive shots. And now that means that whoever we have left have to go down there and help to offensive rebound. Now it's not just Mitch getting all the rebounds. Now we need Julius Randle to go down there and get some more offensive rebounds. And the court will be a little bit more open because of the congestion, what Mitch does. You know what I mean? Mitch always, majority of the time, if you look at Mitch, if he doesn't get his his shoulders in and get you off of the block, because he blocks people out very well. When two people block him out, it's harder for him to get the rebound. Now because of Mitch is down there, and now whoever's man is shooting is driving down to block out Mitch. Now with it being so much open, now you got more players like a RJ that can rebound if he's still here, or Grimes who can rebound if he's still here. Can get in there and get the rebounds that we miss from Mitchell Robinson. That's something to think about.
Yeah, I think that's fair. There is one other thing that I wanted to throw out there that this is probably going to turn the Knicks fans off. Shout out to Nice, by the way. Salute. What's good,
Nice.
brother? Hope you're doing all right, man. Good to see you. Yeah, this might turn everybody off. I think you have to replace Randle with Cat. I know other people have said that they envision Cat playing alongside Randle. I don't necessarily know if that's what Cat wants to do. Not that he has any issue with Randle. I have heard in the past from other analysts that cover the NBA that Cat likes to play the 4 and doesn't like to be the center. He doesn't like the wear and tear and the banging down low. I think it limits his game because he wants to be on the perimeter sometimes shooting the 3, and at the center position, it hurts him sometimes when he has to play the center. So that's actually a big thing, guys, because a lot of people envision maybe you can have Randle and Cat, but if it's up to Cat wants to play that 4. So you're looking at Cat and Mitch, which I'm not opposed to it. It's just, is Cat that much better than Randle? Not that much better, but he's a lot better shooter and more efficient, better from the free throw line, better from 3. Gives you same amount of points, same amount of rebounds, defensively similar. So it's just about a changing of how you're getting something from a player and how he helps stretch the floor, because that's kind of what it would be if it was up to Cat. And this is just according to what I've heard in the past, that Cat wants to be the 4 on a team. They don't want to be the center. So that's interesting.
I'm gonna throw the bull crap out there, Ron. Well, we just put Randle at the 5 and let Cat play the 4. Maybe we'll do that. I mean, I think it would probably be a little better with Randle on the court and not Mitch. You know what I mean? Because they're having a little problem over there already in Minnesota with Gobert and him on the court together. You know what I mean? So Mitch, if he wants to be the 4, let him be the 4 and put Randle at the 5. You know what I mean? I think the team would be a little better with Julius Randle on the court than because I even got off of Mitchell Robinson and KP being on the court together because and I hate to say this out loud because Mitch is my guy, but the problem that I'm seeing watching all this tapes and all this stuff is Mitch packing himself down on the foul line at the free throw line. I mean on the block, and he's not. You know what I mean? If Mitch goes out to the 3-point land, his man ain't going to the 3-point land for Mitch. They're not going out there. You know what I mean? But if you want Randle to be the 4, Randle to be the 5, and you play the 4 position, you play 4s, and Randle play 5, so you could come out and help Randle on any play that you want to work out. If Randle looks like he's getting brutalized by Embiid or something like that, he can come off the block and help out instead of being the primary man on that big man, the 5 position like a Jokic or Embiid or Ayton. Well, I think some 5s Randle I think can match up pretty well with some of the 5s, especially some of the shorter 5s. I think Randle can match up with some of them, but some of them bigger ones he's gonna have problems with. So he can also come down and help out because I think I hate to say it out loud. I'm sorry, Mitch, for saying this, but the problem is Mitch being down on that block. Mitch man is the man that usually is double teaming at the top of the key or double teaming Randle when he gets in the blocks. Now, at the top it's usually the guard, but when he's down towards the box before he does that swipe through move that he does, the double team man is the center and Randle's man. You pull that center position or the 3-man out, maybe it'll be a little different game.
Right. Would you guys want to OG and an OB? Sorry. Right.
No. Yeah. Listen, I don't have a problem with OG Anunoby. The only issue I have with him goes back to his health once again. Like, can he stay healthy? If he can stay healthy, he's a good player. really good. Defensively, he's really good. And then offensively, he can hit that corner 3. The only thing I say sometimes about him is that sometimes his game gets a little quiet when other guys are out there with him, but he's got talent and he definitely can do that. And I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him, out there playing with the Knicks. I think, we assume, we don't know anything for certain, but I assume that if we got OG, RJ's going only because he's Canadian and we automatically think he's gonna have to go to Toronto, but we don't know that. Maybe Toronto don't even want RJ. We don't know. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it though, and I'm not opposed to it. But here's a question. I was trying to put it together, but this takes too much time. I'm just doing it in my head right now. But what if the Knicks, Victor Rivera in the building, salute. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. And Rebuild NYK is in the building, salute. Knicks 100 is in the building, salute. What's good? What if I think I said what's up to Ribby, but what's up, Ribby? Good to see you as well, brother. Appreciate you. What if the Knicks traded Julius Randle, OB, IQ, 3 first-round picks, 2 unprotected, a pick swap, maybe even a second. Sometimes they sweeten the pot with these stupid seconds. Who knows? For Karl Anthony Towns.
Say it again, Ron.
Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, 3 first-round picks, 2 of those being unprotected, and 1 also a pick swap, and 1 second-round pick for Karl Anthony Towns. Because that might, and I'm not saying, like, some people might be like, oh, I don't know, that's a lot, or oh, I don't know if that's enough. It might not be enough. Maybe we need to tweak it a little bit more, but something like that, right? Say they did that, right? So then you know who you're left with on the Knicks if you just know the team. That's done. So Karl Anthony Towns is coming to the Knicks. He's going to play the 4. We're keeping Mitch. Hartenstein's still the backup. Then we trade RJ Barrett to Chicago for Zach Lavine with Fournier. money wise, and another first round pick. Because I think we still got some. We can't trade too many of them, but I think we can throw one more in there and maybe a couple second round picks. Is it as sexy for the Bulls? Maybe not, but they would be getting RJ. And I don't know. Maybe we'd have to throw somebody else in there that people don't really think that we should throw in there. But I mean, he's not doing much here. Maybe Deuce. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, guys. I don't know how they can make it work. But if you go into the season next year with Jalen Brunson, Zach Lavine, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson as your starting five, you keep Quentin Grimes so he could be your backup shooting guard. You got to find the backup point guard.
Yes.
You have to find the backup three, and you got to get yourself a backup power forward. But you can get these guys cheap. You know what I mean? You can go out, depending on the money, because, you know, it's got to make sense. But that's why I said you got to throw Fournier in there, because he brings off 19, 18 million. Like, we need money, too. Maybe they could go out there and get somebody like the guy that I like, that's, what's his name? What the hell? I'm forgetting his name now.
Naz Reid.
He could be the backup power forward.
I like Trey Lyles too. I like Trey Lyles.
He's another one. Even a Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Even a Harrison Barnes, depending on the money, if they could afford it. Like, I'm just wondering how you guys feel about this is a far-fetched thing because there's a lot of moving parts and it's hard to pull off that type of trade. And we don't know if the Bulls would even want that or if Minnesota wants that. How would you feel about Jalen Brunson, Zach Lavine, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson as your starting five?
I think that's a 50-win team. Is it going to win a title right away? No, but that's a 50-win team because you get Lavine, who's athletic, that can struggle from three. Remember, Lavine and Cat were teammates in Minnesota. Don't forget about that. You get Jalen Brunson, who's a cold-blood killer who can finish at the rim, can hit the three ball. You get Mitch, who can protect the rim, athletic, and you get Cat that can help Mitch out stretching the floor. I think that'll be a good move. You get Josh Hart, who is a very good ball handler that can hit the three, especially at the corner, at the wing. Good defender, can play make. That's a 50-win team. My only concern is the bench because you're going to lose. You're going to need a bench in there. But with that lineup, I think that's a 50-win team that might get to the second. Will probably get to the second round.
No.
If we could get that, if we could get Lavine and Cat and still hold on to our $12 million that we have to make a couple of additional moves, I will go all in on that. Because the move that I want is, that I'm thinking of is not Cat but Turner and Lavine. You know what I mean? Turner's a little cheaper, but you know what I mean, same kind of deal, you know what I mean, same style of player, someone that can pull the team out, can shoot the three, set solid screens, could hit a mid-range, could put his back to the basket, you know what I mean? Pretty okay with passing the basketball. So if you could pull Cat off, because Cat is way better than, to me, I think what Cat is way better than Turner, you know what I mean? And if you could pull it off and get Lavine, we'll be a little short, but we'll still have some big guys in the backcourt. And I would go with and we hold on to our $12 million, so we could possibly get maybe two more players to fill up that. We're going to need someone to back up in this small forward position, and we're going to need another power forward. And if we could pull up two players with that $12 million with that team and still stay under the luxury, the apron, the big one, the luxury apron, we already about $8-10 million in the kind of like luxury already, but we're not at the max. I forgot what the max is, but we're not at the max. We're in there, but we're not at the max. If we could pull that off and get two more players and stay under the max, heck yeah, I would jump all over that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I want to say is, and I'm undervaluing Julius Randle because if you really look at his value, it might take less to get Cat. If you're throwing in Julius for him, you might not have to give up as much. I'm just undervaluing him just for the sake of, argument. And And if we're really being real, if I'm telling you something for real, these New York Knicks, this is R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle's New York Knicks. I say that now. We know Jalen Brunson. It might be Jalen Brunson's team now, but when I say that, I mean this is Julius Randle or R.J. Barrett's team. As far as one of these guys is going to be here for a long period of time. They might get rid of one. They're not getting rid of both because these guys have been the face of the Knicks, and they've bought into the organization has bought into it, and they've latched on to these guys. So I don't really think this is realistic that they would get rid of both of them. So that's that. I'm sorry to say that, Knicks fans, but I don't think the Knicks is getting rid of both of these guys. One of them might go, but not both. So there was just throwing it out there. Knicks 100 made a very interesting point. $250 million contracts. Not that it hasn't been done, because it can be done, but is that the right $250 million contracts you want to put your money in? Or is that how you want to go? That's a big question. Yeah, so I don't know. I was just curious of what you guys thought about that actual starting lineup and how potent you think it would be, if it made a big difference. Or yeah, the offensive side of it. I get it. Defensively, maybe you never know. But yeah, well, and that's that's another good point. Knicks 100. He said we can't do it, Ron. We not ready yet. We may not be ready for that big splash, like, because we're talking the way these things are happening right now. It's like this is the next move. Like, you better go all in, because these are the guys that are available. And if you miss your opportunity now, you're gonna be left holding the bag. I don't know.
Yeah, when that CBA kick in.
Yeah, that's what that I was gonna point out to. Thanks for bringing it up again, Shah. It's the CBA that's really got people scrambling a little bit. They're like, the new CBA is gonna be tough. So if I want to make that move, I better do it now. Which is part of the reason. And I forgot. Thanks, like I said, Shah, I failed to mention this earlier. That was part of the reason why I was saying, if you want to get Donovan Mitchell, maybe you got to try to get him now rather than in free agency. I don't know. I mean, I don't like that whole thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, just wait till he's a free agent. It's 2 years away. Anything can happen in 2 years, man. Like, anything can happen in 2 years. So I don't know. The Cavaliers may say, you know what? This is too much, man. We made this trade for Donovan Mitchell, and the talk is still out there. It's getting louder. Maybe we can't do anything this year, but next year we're bringing somebody in to play along with Donovan Mitchell. He's not going to want to go nowhere when we bring this guy in. And then that Donovan Mitchell dream is dead again. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's, we just never know what can happen. So if you don't want to put your everything in the Donovan Mitchell bag or any bag, just go out there, find the player that works for your team. If you got the assets to acquire him and you want to make the move, then you pull the trigger.
So, well, getting sorry. So you're saying trading for Spider-Man still? I mean, what? Trading for Spider-Man? Is that what the question was?
No. I was just saying, like, that's a part of the reason why I also said to go get Spider now, rather than wait, because one, you're losing 2 years of his basketball in his prime. He's 26 years old, I think, as well. And so by that time, he's going to be 28. He's going to be 29 in the season that he plays with the Knicks. So I'm all about, if I see a player is good now and we could use him now, then I'm going to go get him, because if I'm prepared to give up these assets for some other player, I might as well offer the same assets for that player. That's the only reason. If the Knicks don't really want to trade guys and they want to stand pat, then no, I wouldn't do anything. But if you're willing to do it for Beal, then I'm going to offer it for Mitchell. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Brahim is in the building. Salute to you. He says, Cat is a weirdo. I don't want him near my locker room. He's different. He does talk to himself. He's got his imaginary self that he talks to when he wants to get hyped for games.
Right.
Yeah. He's different. He's different.
Right. I want to add one thing too. I'm sorry, Ron.
No, go ahead.
He said one time the Timberwolves Cat said this. He said one time the Timberwolves making the playoffs is more impressive than the Nuggets winning the championship. What? Cat said that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Cat is a Kardashian. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Look, the only way that I'm realistically I see anything like that happening and us going for Cat is, I mean, Cat, if Donovan actually came out and said, listen, all right, let's just get this over with. I want to be out. Trade me to the Knicks. We surveyed 100 people's in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Better late than never. And you're definitely welcome to watch the replay as always. Yeah, guys, but I mean that's pretty much where I'm at. That's what I got. That's how I feel about this right now. There's a lot going on, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I will say that as much as I don't like some of these rumors, I can find the way that it can work. I can make any of these rumors work as long as you put the right pieces in play. If you go out and you get Lavine, okay, well, what does Lavine do good? What does he not do good? So now I need this. Let me go get that. You just got to be smart about it. Other GMs do it all the time. You go get a player. People are like scratching their heads. Why are they doing this? Cleveland Cavaliers are a good example. Not this year's team. Was it last year's team or the year before? I forget when the Cleveland stocked up and got like 4 or 5 bigs. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of bigs over there. It worked out. They played very good. And then in turn, they flipped some of those players to go get Donovan Mitchell. Now, in the end, we saw that didn't work the way they wanted it to, but that's also not necessarily all because of Donovan. Those bigs in the team, just didn't step up and play the type of game that they were accustomed to over there. So sometimes that's how it works, and it can backfire. But there's been plenty of teams that, when you need a player, you go get the talent, and then you figure out how to play around it. We saw Miami go get Bosh, Wade, and LeBron and have no other team. And they figured out how to put the rest of these people together. They had one bad month in the season to start, and then they won the championship. You know what I mean? Like, those are special players. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, you just have to figure it out. But you got to be smart about how you're building it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it for me. Let me get around to these fine gentlemen, get their final words. G Money, final thoughts?
Right. One, thank you, Ron, for inviting me again. I'll see you again, Shy. Please subscribe to Knicks Real Talk, and please subscribe to SKF. Please do KnicksFanTv both. They give you the whole story. They break the ice. They tell you everything you need to know, what you need to hear. They tell you the truth all the time. Please subscribe to my show, The Last Laugh Podcast, featuring me, Biggie, Prince, and Zach, The Last Laugh Podcast. And also, it's going to be a spicy summer. You better get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a spicy summer. Happy Father's Day to everyone, to all the fathers out there. And, the Knicks are going to look uber different next year. They're going to look very different next year. And hopefully someday in the future, we'll be the last team standing. We'll be holding that trophy like the Nuggets are. And also congrats to the Denver Nuggets, too. So that's me right there.
There you go. Sha?
Salute to the chat. Salute to you, G Money. Salute to you, Ron. Thank you for having me on. And throwing out these suspected or alleged trades that's going to go down. Knicks fans, we always get this every year that we got so many players coming here and making all these major moves in the last 3 to 5 years. And let's see what happens. Is it real news or is it fake news? Do we really think that the Knicks are going to go out and make a dramatic change to the lineup, or pick up a fringe player to help on the inside or the outside, or are we just going to stay pat, run it back, and try to build these guys' stocks up and make a better trade next year when we have some more available pieces? If Obi comes in and plays his heart out, if IQ comes back and plays his heart out, if Grimes comes back and plays his heart out, if RJ really, really steps up to that player that we need him to be, we have a better chance of getting someone bigger in the 24-25, pool if we don't make it to the playoffs. So we all wait for Leon to make this big move, man. I hope he does. I hope he makes something. I don't want us to say pat, but if we do, I think this team could still come out with being together and still win 50 games next season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're in a really good spot, guys, regardless of all this talk and this speculation. And remember, this is just talking about scenarios and things that are put out there that we're just, thinking about and how could this work and what would happen if this happens. None of this is real until it's real. And the Knicks can very well come back with the same team, run it back, and then add, a couple little fringe players and be just as good as they were last year, if not better. So you don't need to do the big splash, but if the big splash is going to happen, how can they make it work? And what is it going to look like? So we'll see. We got a lot of time, a long off season, man. This is not even the beginning. It's so much going on. So let's just see what happens in the end. Thanks to G Money and to Shah. Appreciate you guys for being here once again. Shout out to the, Last Laugh podcast, G Money and his peoples, to Knicks Real Talk with Shah and Lavine. Congratulations once again for the 1K. Tune into both podcasts, man, and show the love. We'll see what happens from here, Knicks fans. I mean, we got a long summer, man. This is only the beginning. Like, there's so many different things that could happen and may not happen. The Knicks could make the big trade. They may not make the big trade. The Knicks could buy into the draft this week. They could not. We could just be watching the draft of other teams and have the Knicks have nothing to do with it. So we don't know what could happen. Or there could be a big trade that happens on draft night that might include the Knicks. We might be, people are like, oh yeah, the Knicks pulled off a trade on draft night, and we're not even like a big part of it. We took somebody back and had some money. Like, we could just be a filler, So you never know, man. So anyway, thank you guys once again for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still, Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11 for Know the Ledge, Mondays. I'm about to say Sunday. Monday nights for SKF Weekly with Ron and John, or on Thursday nights for the NBA Report on the Nothing But Knicks Network at 8 o'clock. And we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. And this is for everybody, guys. Don't stress. We don't know what's going to happen, so just be happy with the product that we have had and continue to support our Knicks. Let's see what happens. Let's all take it easy and not.
See if I know the ledge.
Let's not jump out the window. We all good here. We all great. Okay? We okay. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I will catch you on the next one. We out.
Let's get it.
Who's this?